Bloody hell. All right. Didn't realise that at all. At all. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It is Manchester United versus Arsenal in the Premier League. I'm sure a lot of you have keeping your eyes on the Liverpool score at the moment because it is currently 0-0. They've hardly had any shots on target yet again at Anfield. I tell you what though, Southampton are clearly on the beach, and I do expect that Liverpool will win that game. You can just see it coming. So don't get your hopes up. Is my point of view. And to be honest with you, if Liverpool did drop points, would it just be setting us up for more disappointment again? That with the door is left open for us to get top four, and then we blow it again. I think if Liverpool wins today, at least it means that Mourinho hopefully will keep his promise of playing the reserves, maybe a little bit of youth. And that's what's exciting me about this game. Team news is coming in 3 minutes' time. And that's the thing that's exciting me the most. It's there to be done. Clop the flops. I mean, just look. You know what? There will be Liverpool fans watching this. They can't help themselves, and they will get back into it. Kian says that Twansebi is going to start. I'll be stunned if Twansebi doesn't start, and if he does start, I think that is the angle behind this game. The excitement behind this game is watching people like that play. I think it'd be really, really exciting. What else have we got? Southampton is just going to park the bus, says MUFC Tactics. Look, I can see Liverpool. I can see Liverpool getting a winner in that, so I'm not too fussed about that. Kian is saying that Twansebi is starting. Team news is coming in very, very soon. It's a weird game, this one. It is a weird game. I've had all sorts of angles from United fans throughout the day. I'll give you my point of view. My point of view is this: that if we win this game, fantastic. If we get a draw, not bad. But I'm excited by it because I want to see some of the reserves and the youth step up. I've always been excited by that. That's why I like the pre-season tour, because you get to see some of the fringe players. The League Cup, I like to see the fringe players. This is Arsenal's cup final. They need to win it. I know they've got an FA Cup final, but this is probably bigger. They still think they can get top four, and they're going to play their big guns against us. For us, our big game is Thursday night. We've handed top four to other clubs on a plate. I've sort of accepted that is gone, or if it's not gone, it's the second priority. So I don't want to see Rashford, Pogba, Bailly playing 1 minute of this game today, because Thursday and hopefully the cup final are the priority. So I'm completely relaxed. If we got beat 4-0 today, as long as I see effort and determination and passion from those who come in, I'm not going to be ranting about getting beaten by Arsenal today. I don't expect us to get beaten, but I will not be ranting about it because it's not that way. We have got a wonky comments board. Well spotted. Well spotted. I can fix that. I normally can fix that. I can fix that. There we go. Look at that. Whoa. What's going on with the comments board? It's going all over the place. It's crazy time with the comments board. But let's get it right. Is that going to be right? That's about right. I know what's gone wrong there, Gazer. I was trying to mess about with something we did the other night. Who thinks Herrera should be future captain? Me, I do. You might notice me moving around a little bit today because of my back problems. I've actually sorted myself out one of those, not a birthing ball, but one of them exercise balls. So I will move around a little bit. But there we go. Yes, we've sorted it. Thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like if you remember to drop a like. I should be joined by Ross at some point. We've got 1,000 of you joining with us. I'm keeping my eye on the live comments because I'm expecting that Liverpool goal at any time. Which, to be honest, I know a lot of you will be disappointed, but hopefully, well, team news is going to come in before the Liverpool result, isn't it? So people were saying, I wonder if he'll change his team dependent on the Liverpool result. Well, he can't, can he? Because he's got to give the team news now. And Liverpool could win, which I think they will. Or they could draw, which some are hoping for. The starting 11 then. David De Gea, Twansebi, Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Darmian, Carrick, Herrera, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Martial and Rooney. So it's a very strong team. Herrera playing. He's probably one I might have rested, but Darmian I expected to play. No Bailly, no Rashford, no Pogba, which is the big three for me. On the bench, you've got Romero, you've got Eric Bailly, Daley Blind, Jesse Lingard, McTominay, Pogba and Rashford. So despite all those youth players actually travelling, there's only two who make the squad, and that's Twansebi and McTominay. So, yeah, I'm happy with that team. It's sort of, I suppose what he's done is he's picked an experienced reserve side, but he's also sort of put enough experience on the bench that if that Liverpool result did come in for us, he could go, right, I'm going to chuck some stronger players on. So I'm very happy with that team. I think Twansibi starting is the big one for me. Absolutely ecstatic with that, as I'm sure many of you are. And let's get Ross's thoughts as well. Ross, can you hear me?
How you doing, Mark?
Very good. I take it you've seen the team news. I think a lot of people were expecting a few more youth players involved. I'm very happy with that lineup. A lot of the reserves playing, well, if you can call them reserves, which they are, Matters, Rooney's, Martial. Twansibi gets the start. I know he took a lot of young players with him, but there's only Twansibi starting and McTominay on the bench. Quite a strong bench. Give us your thoughts.
Do you know what? It's changed my outlook on the game, seeing that lineup, actually. I've always been quite positive about it anyway, but I'm really positive about that team that's out there today. I'm so happy that Twansibi started today. I think that's his first start. It's his first Premier League appearance for United, so it's brilliant. So, yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed with it. And I think when I look at that team that we've got out and I look at Arsenal's team, I still think, A or B team, whatever you want to call it, we have the better starting 11 out there today.
I did my tactics preview last night on my channel, the Mark Goldbridge. If you watched it, I set it up in the way I think Mourinho will set it up today. And that is, when Arsenal have got the ball, get everybody behind the ball apart from Martial, whoever's up front. Then when we've got the ball, move the ball well, but move it fast and hit them on the break and frustrate them. I think that's how we can do it today. But I do agree with Ross. I think, we can beat them. We can beat them. People are saying it's a strong team. It is in a way, but we still haven't got Valencia, Bailly, Pogba and Rashford, arguably our four form players at the moment. So whilst it's a strong team, it's not our first team, but I agree, we can still give them a bloody good go.
Yeah, definitely. I've got the Liverpool game on at the minute, so I've got one eye on that, and it's obviously still 0-0 with 15 minutes to go, which hopefully it stays the same. And that really affects, the Champions League race. And Liverpool tend to bottle it just like Tottenham around this time of the season. So today is, we say it every game, Mark. I know Mourinho alluded to it, that he's kind of thrown the towel in on top four, but I just wonder if that's a little bit of mind games to take the pressure off the team, because it just seems like we're playing Premier League games with immense pressure. And do you know what? We've got nothing to lose today. I think Arsenal have got it all to lose because they do not want to finish sixth, and it looks like they are. And if they even draw today, 6 is pretty much nailed on for them. So we've got nothing to lose today. We've got a plan B. We've got the Europa League, but again, positive. I think you're right. I think we'll play Martial up front, and it'd be interesting because I think he can do just as good a job or even a better job than Rashford. I love Rashford, but we forget the talent Martial has. He just hasn't been using it, or someone say he hasn't been played in the right position. But yeah, fast movement, Mata back in the team, which is a key creative player. Yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed with it, and it's good to see. I know they've been given a lot of stick, but Jones and Smalling are back in the team, so it'll be interesting to see how many minutes they'll last before they get stretched off.
I want to talk about Jones and Smalling in a bit, because obviously they could go from zeros to heroes, because we've deservedly given them a lot of stick. But I'm just typing the team out there. It's going along the bottom of the screen for everybody. But let me just read it for you again. De Gea, Twansibi, Jones, Smalling, Darmian, Carrick, Herrera, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Martial, Rooney. I think that is worded wrong. I'd be very surprised if Rooney's playing attacking. I would expect him to be playing either on the left or as a part of the midfield three. But with Mata, Mkhitaryan and Rooney, I would imagine those three will take up the wide positions and the number 10 position. I'm sure Martial will be playing up front, because it would be madness not to put a bit of pace up front against Arsenal, Ross.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely Martial up front for me, as you said. And yeah, the others, I don't know how they'll occupy it, but between Mata, Mkhitaryan and Rooney, they're all quite flexible. They can all play at number 10 and they can all play out wide. So yeah, they can just rotate. But we've got Michael Carrick back in the team again today. I know we're missing Pogba, but I think it's just nice to have Carrick to support Jones and Smalling for one, and two, to get the balls up to Martial quick, because Herrera's great, but I just don't think he's got that vision that Pogba has, and I think Carrick has. So if there's anyone that's going to feed Martial and even the wingers, it's going to be Michael Carrick. So it's nice to see him back in the team, and yeah, I'm really positive about today. I just feel no pressure. Like you tweeted it out earlier, Mark, sort of that gif of what would happen if we lose. Wouldn't really care, to be honest, because we've got plan B. So I'm just excited for a no pressure, hopefully a good game.
There's a couple of things that excite me. Dan Buttermouth said Twansibi versus Sanchez, and Marco says Mata wasn't flexible, that's why he did his groin in. I think Mata I trust. I think he's been one of our most consistent players of the year. I don't think he's player of the year, but I think he's been one of our most consistent players of the year. And a game like this will suit him. Mkhitaryan, as much as I like him, he's drifted in and out of some games. I can't wait to see Twansibi playing. I think it's going to be... You know what? I would be excited to watch this game if it was Crystal Palace on the last game of the season. We've already confirmed 5th. They're already safe. It's a nothing game. But just to get to watch Twansibi play. The reality is we're getting Twansibi playing in a game that whether 5th is got top 4's gone or not, it matters. That is very, very exciting, and that's what gets me going. But in relation to Liverpool, I don't know whether they've just scored. I just want to go against Ross and say I'm not talking about top 4. I'm not contemplating top 4 because I have this feeling that Liverpool will win this game today, and it will probably be the last kick of the game. But I will be stunned if they don't win this game. All I would say about that is we've only got ourselves to blame. Liverpool are a shit team. They are a bottling team. They aren't a very good side. But we have handed it on a plate to them because we've just not won enough games at home. We've drawn ourselves against crap. And if we don't get top 4, I'm a bit like Mourinho, Ross. I have given up on it because we've blown it. And I'd love to be proved wrong. I would love to be proved wrong. But I fully expect the Liverpool goal. And I think it's gone. But I'm still very excited about this game because... At the end of the day, it's a bit of a Rorke's Drift siege mentality. The Alamo, we are going there sort of like we don't want to lose. Mourinho's got a great record against Wenger. We don't want to lose. It's pride. It's Manchester United. It's the badge on the shirt. Arsenal want to win because their season's been abysmal and they will want to win. So they're going to give us a big go. It's just a great opportunity for us. And like you say, if we get beat, we've got bigger fish to fry. If we win, it's brilliant.
Yeah, and I get it not to focus on this Liverpool result, but I am watching it, and there is 9 minutes left, and I can't help, like you say, it seems like we've got nothing to play for, but we kind of have it all to play for because I personally want this unbeaten run. I know it's a bit of a crap run with a few a lot of draws in it, but it still shows a good mentality to go this long unbeaten. I'd love to keep that going until the end of the season and start. Next season, as you means to go on, start on the back of a sort of a 20-odd match unbeaten run. So I want to keep that going. And I also would love, go back to Keegan, I'd love it if we beat them. I'd love to knock Liverpool out of the top 4 come the end of the season because, not to focus on them too much, but I just think that'd be, close to the end of Liverpool as a top 4 club because if they don't get top 4, even with top 4, I think their summer signings are going to be sort of trying to pick raw talent. They're not going to get finished articles, but if they don't get Champions League, they're really going to struggle. So that's what's in it for me, and hopefully that's in it for Mourinho. He will not want to lose. I don't think he's ever lost to Wenger in the Premier League, so no. He will want to keep that up.
I'll be stunned if we lose it. I mean, the only time I remember us going to Arsenal and doing badly was under Van Gaal when he decided to play Carrick and Schweinsteiger as a midfield 2, but didn't let them sit. He tried to make them attack, and I think we were 3-0 down at half-time. It was terrible, terrible tactics, and I don't expect that to happen with us. Sorry, my phone's been going non-stop for the last 2 hours, mainly off at Mark Goldbridge account with people saying congratulations, and I'm like, is this something I don't know about? Because my wife's not actually due until June. But I've just realised what it is. It's because Forest stayed up. So good little joke from you all there. But I was actually... The Championship kicked off at 12 o'clock today. So Blackburn went down. My little girl plays football at 12 on a Sunday. So I don't support Forest. My cousins will be very happy and so will my uncle. But and I'm glad they stayed up being from there. But I had no eye on that at all. But that just reminds me actually very quickly, I know not everybody does the bets, but we do. And the next 2 watch-alongs at half-time, we are giving away a good couple of prizes. On Thursday, at half-time, we actually are giving away the signed Sir Bobby Charlton shirt. I know that's been running for the last few weeks. It's going to be given away at half-time on Thursday, so that's exciting. But today, we've got a couple for you. We did this a couple of weeks ago as well. You can win. Well, 2 of you will win. One... I've worded that badly. Right, basically, we've got 2 prizes. They are both a £25 bonus bet through Bet365. So we'll have 2 winners, which we'll announce at half-time. How do you enter? Well, if you go to the second paragraph of the video description, click the link. It will take you to this page here that we're about to do. Get yourself signed up. Once you've signed up, it will put you in the draw for the half time, but it also puts you in the draw for the Sir Bobby Charlton one as well. So you've got 3 chances of winning. 2 at half time today, £25 bonus bet, and 1 on Thursday. And obviously everybody who's signed up already, you're already in that draw for both of these things, so don't worry about that. Once you've signed up, you want to go to today's games, obviously. It's still 0-0 in the Liverpool game. Look, where's Manchester United versus Arsenal? That's a bummer. Soccer. Here we go. Soccer, UK Sunday matches, Arsenal v Manchester United, and my tip for today was this. Where is he? Where's Anthony Martial to score at any time? Anthony Martial to score at any time, 3.25. So a tenner wins you £32.50. I think there's very, very good value in that. And anything you fancy, Ross?
Yeah, do you know what? I actually fancy Juan Mata to score today because he just always pops up with the goal when we need him in a big game. So that would be my tip.
Okay, you can get Mata at 3.75. So there are our 2 tips for today. It's hard to predict a score, and it's hard to predict both teams to score, I think, although I think they will, but the odds on that are not great at 1.61. But my tip is Martial to score at any time, 3.25, and Ross's is Mata at 3.75. Remember, get yourself signed up, and at half-time we will be giving away 2 £25 bonus bets. So if you are somebody who fancies a dabble, and I know a few of you do, remember to bet responsibly. You've got to be over 18, but we've got prizes to give us away as well. And I think actually the last few watch-alongs, my tip has come in. So I had Rooney a couple of weeks ago, and I think I had Rashford on Thursday as well. So 3rd time lucky. So there we go. Rooney to score, Mark, says George Kyle. It would be 3 and 3 for him. Rooney would be a good bet. I think he was about 3.5. So, if that's what you fancy, share your bets, share your tips, and then you can have the glory if they came in. But let's talk Jones and Smalling. Ross, hero villains, I think justifiably. I think Mata was fantastic getting back, but they are back now. And to be fair to them being back now means that we can rest Blind and Bay, which I think was essential. So they're part of the Manchester United squad. Today is a big opportunity for them. It's not like they're playing at home against Hull. They are playing away from home against Arsenal, who move the ball really well. A chance for those two to get back in the good books. I've always been a fan of Smalling's. Jones, I think, can be a good defender. I just would sell him because he always gets injured. But good to have him back. And certainly, I think the positive is it gets Bay a rest.
Yeah, it does. I did worry for Twanzebe when Mourinho was trying to rush Smalling and Jones back. So I am pleased that he's playing Twanzebe and Smalling and Jones today instead of just, not giving Twanzebe his chance. And I think if Twanzebe plays well today, I think we could see the end of Smalling and Jones, to be honest, because Mourinho he doesn't just like, players that are good technically. He likes fit players. And it's no secret that Jones and Smalling to an extent are injury-prone players. And when you're going for, 4 trophies a season every season, which Mourinho set his stall out, he will do at Manchester United, which is fantastic for us. It's not good for Smalling and Jones. And I think Blind has done himself no harm since they've come out because he's not the greatest centre-back in the world at all. But as a squad player, he tends to be quite fit. And do you know what? He come into this back four and he hadn't played a lot of games at centre-back this season. He pretty much was completely out of the picture at one point. And he's come in and he's been really solid, so I'd tip my hat off to him for that. I think Smalling and Jones could see the end of their career at United regardless, to be honest. I think if we get Champions League football, we're going to be wanting to sign. I think we can sign any centre-back that are better than them two. And given their injury record, I just don't think it's worth... You can't sacrifice a position for either Smalling or Jones knowing how much they get injured a season. It upsets your season like it has done. It done it for Van Gaal 2 seasons in a row, and it's happened to Mourinho, and he will not let that happen again.
I was just having a quick look while Ross was talking there, just having a quick look on the Arsenal fan TV, and it's all, Robbie's there, we've got to do this today. It's a massive game for them, and I think we've said it a couple of times. We are in a really big position of comfort because it doesn't really matter to us. I think I know people are getting really excited about the Liverpool result. Look, I'm not. I'll guarantee they will get a last minute. There'll be about 10 minutes stoppage time and they'll bundle it in the net somehow. So don't set yourself up for disappointment. I'm fully expecting them to score. And it's not reverse psychology. I'll be amazed because they were crap at home to Palace. And they can't... they've got it on a plate. We've handed it on a plate. If they can't finish their dinner, then I'll be amazed. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, Arsenal, it's a massive game for them, Ross. Absolutely massive. I've not talked much about Arsenal. I think Sanchez, talk about people leaving United. I think Alexis Sanchez is definitely going to leave them. He's obviously their threat. But I don't fear them. I mean, they can beat us. Anybody can beat anybody in the Premier League. That's been shown. But I'm not scared of them. And as much as we are playing our reserves today, and I don't want to be disrespectful to people like Rooney and Carrick and Mata, but they are the reserves at the moment. But I still think that set of players can go and get a result today. My score prediction is 1-1. I just don't know. I just think it will be 1-1. But what's your score prediction? Are you going for a win?
Do you know what? Yeah, I am going for a win. I've been heavily positive around United recently, sometimes falsely, but I think we'll win today. I just don't think Arsenal have got enough. And although Sanchez is a threat, he knows he's going in the summer, and I think his form's dipped because of that. And we all know Mesut Ozil goes missing. I can't see, the only goal I can see out of their team is Welbeck, because he always scores against United, and he probably is their biggest threat, to be honest. Apart from that, I think our Smalling and Jones they have enough to be able to deal with Danny Welbeck, surely.
Looking at the Arsenal team, a few people asking: Petr Cech in goal, Holding, Koscielny, Monreal, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Xhaka, Ramsey, Gibbs, Ozil, Sanchez, Welbeck. Welbeck was a player that I probably wouldn't have sold, but when people liken Rashford to Welbeck, and they won't be doing it at the moment because Rashford's not had a bad game, but when he does, there's a few come out with the Trashford and Welbeck and liken to Welbeck, and you know who you are. Welbeck is a good player in the fact that he works really hard, he's got some pace about him, he's quite skillful. He's not half the player Rashford is even now, and Welbeck's in his mid-20s, I think. Welbeck couldn't hit this bloody ocean from a boat. That was always his big problem. I'll never forgive him against Bayern Munich one-on-one, and he tries to bloody chip near. Idiot. But that's Danny Welbeck. When he's not thinking, he's actually quite a natural finisher. I remember him scoring some chips, I think in the Community Shield against City. Well, I know that was Nani, but I remember him finishing. When he hasn't got time to think about it, he's quite a good finisher. When he's got time to think about it, he's more likely to hit the corner flag. Danny Welbeck might have a good game today because he always feels he's got a point to prove against the club that you've been kicked out of. I understand that. Oxlade-Chamberlain probably will have a good game because he seems to get it. He's got that sort of Brit determination. Xhaka, I think he's crapper. Ramsey, can't stand him either. Ozil, bottler. Sanchez, good player. But they could beat us today. I'm not going to say that we are going to win because that would be foolish. But I think we should have every confidence of going into this game, of pulling a result out. And as I said, I don't think we need to be critical, Ross. I mean, I don't know. If we were to get beat today, I'd be very surprised if there are Manchester United fans out there being critical of us, because the only critical thing I can see is if certain players don't turn up. Like if Martial has a bad game, Mkhitaryan has a bad lazy game, Rooney's his normal self, then yeah, I think that there is something to be said at the end of the game that they weren't good enough. But I don't see that. I think they'll be up for it. I'm actually quite excited to see, well, certainly Martial. I think Mkhitaryan starting is a good thing because he's been out of form the last couple of games. And Rooney, I mean, how many last chances he wants? But I think this sort of game will suit Rooney because we need that aggression that we saw from him against Burnley that unfortunately was missing again against Swansea. You still there, Ross?
Yeah, sorry, mate, I'll put you on mute. I don't want to change the subject, mate, but looking at David De Gea replacements, I've seen Forster do an absolute worldie of a game against Liverpool today, which is fantastic to see because that's all United have had all season. He saved a penalty and he just saved an absolute class header. So we've got a minute left, Mark, fingers crossed. But yeah, Rooney's Rooney to me. He is a leader on the pitch and off the pitch. It's like you tweeted out a few weeks ago, and it was obvious in that Swansea game, his legs are gone. And it's so unfortunate because he's such a talented player. And I always see there's quite a big Wayne Rooney account, which gets mocked quite a lot because he is a bit ridiculous. But he tweets out Rooney goals, and we're watching goals against Arsenal. And I do wish we had that Wayne Rooney, but we don't, and we'll never get him back again. But I think for these games, yeah, he's got a job to do. But I'm looking at that team lineup, and I know a lot of people would criticise calling it the reserves, but I think next year, especially when we strengthen. Yeah, and Herrera maybe and David De Gea would be the only players in that whole starting 11 that would get into our strongest
Come on,
starting
is it
11.
0-0?
Yeah, I think that's it, mate.
Back of the net. We'll have some of that. It was reverse psychology. I knew they were going to draw. I didn't. I really didn't. I'm over the moon for all you lot. I know Ross was saying it as well. Well done if you predicted it. But I watched the Palace game a couple of weeks ago because it was after hours, and I couldn't believe how dead morgue-like Anfield was and how little chances they had. I watched the Watford game on Monday night, and again, worldy goal by Can, but again, they were lucky to get 3 points. But if they've done that again is it full time? It's not full time on the BBC. That's what's worrying.
It is. It's full time, mate.
So it's 0-0.
The thing is with Liverpool is they've been sussed, mate, because if you sit back against them, which teams do against United all the time, they don't have the class to open teams up. All they can do is counter people, and if you don't let them, the 0-0s will keep cropping up.
Well, I tell you what we need to do now. We need to sort of have a quick look at this because it changes everything. So Liverpool have now played 36 games, haven't they? So they move up to 70 points. 5 points ahead of us, but we've got 2 games in hand. Arsenal are 10 points behind them with 3 games in hand. So Arsenal, even if they win all their games, they won't catch up with Liverpool. But if we win both of our games, we go a point ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool's remaining fixtures, for those who aren't aware, because they've just bottled it. They've got to go to West Ham, which is no foregone conclusion, next Sunday, and then they finish off against Middlesbrough, who aren't actually down but pretty much are. So that they'll probably manage they'll probably beat Middlesbrough, but the West Ham game, who knows? If we were to win all our games, which are Arsenal today, Spurs next week, Southampton and Palace, I think really it comes down to the next 2, then we could finish above Liverpool. They've left the door open again, Ross. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned that they've managed to do that. But it certainly probably changes the complexion on this game from Mourinho, but probably not the tactics and obviously not the personnel because it's picked. It'd certainly be open if we won today. Liverpool will be hoping for the draw that I predict it probably will be, but there's an opportunity there. I know what everybody's thinking. I'm sure you're thinking it at home. If only we could have beaten Swansea last week, or West Brom, or Hull, or Bournemouth, just another 2 points. We have handed this opportunity to Liverpool, but they seem unable to take it as well.
Liverpool's form, they haven't got no players. Half of their team's injured. Their form's right down and out. So, and do you know what? And I always back United in these big games. I feel more confident playing Arsenal today than I probably would West Brom at home, Swansea at home, because we do bottle them games. And the fact that he's picked this team today and rested players, I think just adds to the fact that we should be winning this, to be honest. And players like Martial, who have stepped up in certain games this season and disappeared in others, seems to me that he steps up when he plays up front. So we've got him looking like he's on his own up front. Rooney's kind of playing what I feel is going to be his last sort of 2 or 3 games for United, so he's going to want to get in the goals. Every United player has points to prove, and I think with Arsenal it's completely different. I think half of their team want to leave, and half of them just want to disappear in games anyway. So that's why I am so confident today. And like you said about even seeing Twanzebe play, it adds to this excitement. It makes me so excited to see this game, to watch a debutant Twanzebe, who I thought wouldn't get his chance this season. So it's fantastic, and it's a massive game for him to play. And if he can just, not make a mistake, I'd say just don't make mistakes. Don't worry about forward passes too much. Just concentrate on your defending. It gives Mourinho another headache going into next season. And I think, just quickly, just add, I think Rashford for this season would have had a big influence on Mourinho, and maybe even a big influence on him picking Twanzebe, because he obviously didn't trust Rashford to come to the start of the season. He's got massive trust in him now, and I think Mourinho will be looking more towards some of these youth players because, let's not beat around the bush. A lot of our senior players this season have bottled it for us, to be honest, and I think some of the youth are ready to step up, and these little signs of playing these youths is good signs for players like Pereira coming back in. They're going to look at this and think, wow, I actually have a chance next season, which is fantastic.
Craig McCullough Games HD has made a contribution through the super chat. Thanks, Craig. He says Griezmann has said that he ain't joining Real Madrid. That means he wants to come to Old Trafford in the summer. Obviously, we do transfer daily every morning. I think we discussed that on Thursday. totally agree. Love doing the transfer stuff. But for the moment, we've got this game, which I was very excited about anyway, for the reasons Ross just said there about Twansibi. But with that result against Liverpool, I think it's gone up. I mean, none of us were disrespecting this game anyway, Ross. But I think that result from Liverpool has suddenly knocked this game up a notch, because even if you're Arsenal, let's just have a quick look at Arsenal's running, because I remember looking at it a month ago. Their running is actually quite favourable. They've got us today, Southampton away, Stoke away, and then they've got 2 home games against Everton and Sunderland. So, if Arsenal found a bit of form and won every game, they'd put themselves a point behind Arsenal, have a point behind Liverpool, having won all their games. If Liverpool don't win at West Ham and Arsenal win all their games, Arsenal would leapfrog them. So Arsenal will fancy it as well, that they can still get top 4 based on the bottling of Liverpool and the fact that we've got obviously them and Spurs to play. So if they beat us, they can finish above us with their games in hand. So it makes it very, very interesting that Arsenal will fancy it. We still obviously got a very big say to say in it. So I mean, I was looking forward to it because Twansibi and Martial up front and Mata back. But there's a lot on this game now, thanks to Liverpool. And for all those people who are saying that, United have bottled it as well, we're fully aware that United have bottled it. But I'm happy, like Ross, that Forster turned up today and had a super game, because how many goalkeepers have done that to us this season? So bit of justice there. In Liverpool, we know we like that. They like that. They like their justice, don't they? So that does not mean anything. I don't know what he's on about. Hey, Mad Marcus, says Carl Hines. 2 games less than the Liver Scum, so grab this chance. And Lakato says we're going to win this. I'm a bit worried about our starting lineup, says Yusuf Ali. We're playing players who haven't played in a long time. Well, we've got to do that, Ross. You can't be disappointed with the lineup. I mean, surely people don't think that Pogba and Bailly and Rashford should be playing. I mean, I talked about this last night on the Tactics preview as well. Imagine if you played Pogba in this game, he pulls his hamstring, he's out for the season. I mean, it's just not worth the risk.
No, definitely not. And I think Mourinho's learned. You can see the Mourinho development in his learning to be a Manchester United manager this season. He's not a messiah. He's not a miracle worker. And he probably did overuse Pogba a bit too much. And I think now he's realised that. I mean, I think the Pogba we saw last Thursday was a rested Pogba. And he looked like he had so much more to give us than he's had all season. And he will want that same Pogba next Thursday. So it would have been stupid to play him today, because it's that Pogba that we'll get Thursday that will make that game quite easy for us, I think. Because he dominated their whole midfield. He didn't even need a partner with him. But we could have played Pogba today, and we probably would have got 70% of Pogba, and we'll get 70% of Pogba on Thursday. But it's the business end now, and we've got a big enough squad. We've been saying it all season. Why are we playing the same 11 week in, week out? It doesn't make sense. So that's why we're so happy to see it. We can see these other players that have points to prove, and even Mkhitaryan today, you said it earlier, he's got a point to prove today. He done it in the big game against Tottenham, but apart from that, he has gone missing for me, and he missed a big chance on Thursday. I think he should have put that in the net. So they've all got points to prove. And I like watching players with points to prove, because it lets you make your mind up about them. I mean, if Rooney has another poor game today, it will make my mind up that he is finished at United. But if he does score a couple of goals, then it kind of gets you thinking again. So they've all got the chance to do that. And it is. I'm just I'm really, really, really excited for this.
Yeah, I think the Liverpool result has certainly added to that. I mean, the great thing about Twansibi, I just tweeted it there, is as well, this is the first Jose Mourinho youth player that he's starting in a Premier League game of any substance. That if this player goes on to have a career at Manchester United, Mourinho will always be able to be the manager that sort of brought him through. We've known about him for a long time. I don't recall him getting any time under Van Gaal last year, and certainly, Van Gaal didn't pick him like he did Rashford and Fosu Mensah. So when Mourinho came in the summer and gave us that, what I would call a very fake list of youth players that he is a manager about youth, not normally of this level, not normally at this size of a club, not normally in this sort of a game. So I think it's fantastic, and it will, I know what Mourinho's background with youth is, and it's not great, but he has to. Manchester United fans, we want it, and he has to bring it in. So I'm very happy today that he actually is. And I think Twansibi will be his player if he uses him and brings him through. So I'm very excited about that. And he's giving him a start away at the Emirates. he could have found a way not to. He could have done very easily, but he hasn't. He's played him, and I applaud that. It's great. And I think that's why it's very important as United fans that regardless of what happens today, we are supportive of this lineup and we are support and encouraging. As long as everybody gives their all, the result to me, I want us to win now because obviously Liverpool have dropped points and it'll make it very interesting. And we want interest. We want that as a United fan. But as long as we give everything today and we don't disrespect the badge in relation to lack of effort and poor play, the result is sort of secondary to me. I want to win. I think we can win, but we had to pick this team. It would have been great if we were going into this game and able to pick our strongest team, but we must never move away from the fact that this is not our strongest team today, and we're going to go and give it a good go.
Yeah, I think what you said there, and all United fans, which makes us unique, I think, around the world, will back Twanzebe in this team, regardless of how he plays, to be honest. And I think that's a brilliant thing, and I think Mourinho will come to learn that when he starts. This is his, like you say, his first dabble at playing a youth player, and it's a key point as well that this is his first appointment because, as well as Rashford's doing, and it's great to see him doing really well. I always think of him as Van Gaal's player because Van Gaal was the one that it was luck that he picked him, but he did. So he's Van Gaal's brought him through, and he's Van Gaal's statement in this team. Twanzebe could be that for Mourinho if he, he's not got to do it all today. It's a big game for him. But if he just continues to work hard and prove Mourinho that, his fitness and his determination, Jose will play him. So it completely adds to it for me. And I think that the crowd will be behind Twanzebe. They'll be applauding his first touch, which Mourinho will hear and he will see that. And I think he'll start to realise, after time that he can maybe take this risk a little bit more. And if it backfires, I don't think the fans will get on Mourinho's back for this because it's taking a risk, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think just going back to this game then now. I mean, Liverpool thanks very much for that. Last 27 years of your club, really, isn't it? Bottling league results, but the reality is that now it's over to us. Difficult game. The thing is though, when you look at the team compared to Thursday, I think ability form wise, the Thursday side is probably better, bar Fellaini and Lingard, who I thought were atrocious. But when you look at this side, experience wise, there's no excuse there. You've got Rooney, you've got Carrick, you've got Mata. Mkhitaryan's very experienced in big games. There's more than enough experience. I think it's going to be very interesting. I want to ask Ross, how he thinks we should approach this game. I would hope for me, Martial is playing up front. I would want Mkhitaryan and Mata to be tucking in and supporting the midfield three of Herrera and Carrick and Rooney. And when Arsenal have got the ball, I would expect our back four to back off to the edge of the box, our midfield three to get behind the ball and let Arsenal try and play their way through. What Arsenal will want to do is hit us with pace, and they can't do that. What we need to do today is almost not be like Manchester United, almost be a little bit like when Stoke or someone else like that goes to the Emirates. Frustrate them, and then like Ross was saying, if Carrick gets the ball and Martial's making a run from the halfway line, 40-yard pass, away you go. Because I think the game is perfect for that today. Hit them on the break, let them come at us. They're behind us. We've got a good chance of top four now. If we win our remaining games, we will get top four. Arsenal, if they win their games, they'll get very close to Liverpool. But they've got further to catch up. They've got to get past us and Liverpool. We've only got to get past Liverpool. So I would be feeling, come on, you're the home side. Come and have a go, and we'll hit you on the break.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And their back four is shaky, to say the least. Martial could tear them apart today if he's up for it. If he's up for it and he gets the service. Yeah, and like you said, I'd line up exactly how you said it, to be honest. I think Mata's quite a clever player as well. I think he's one of them players that's really effective on the break. Even though he doesn't have a lot of pace about him, he seems to get around the pitch quite easily. He's got a lot of grace about the way he moves around the pitch. So all key players to be. But I don't know if you can shed some light. Is Twanzebe playing at right back today, Mark?
It's hard to tell because the lineup is De Gea, Twanzebe. It's come out in this order: De Gea, Twanzebe, Jones, Smalling, Darmian, Herrera, Carrick, Mata, Mkhitaryan, Martial, Rooney. So Rooney's right at the end. So that would suggest Rooney's playing up front, which I don't think he will be. No. But the way the lists come out, I suspect Twanzebe will be at right back because a lot of young players get played at right back, don't they? Whether they're a centre back or not. Because if you're not playing Twansibi at right back, who's playing at right back? Phil Jones could play there, but I personally would like to see Twansibi playing at centre back with Smalling and play Phil Jones at right back, because I think Twansibi's used to playing at centre back, but I suspect he probably will play at right back.
Yeah, I do worry about Phil Jones in this team. I think Smalling is clever enough and good enough to come back from an injury and like Blind kind of does and just get straight back into it. Jones, he come back from injury earlier in the season and he looked all over the place, and he looks like he needs time, training and games to get back up to the full speed of a match. And that will worry me, to be honest. And if I was Arsenal, I'd be picking all over Jones, because he might prove me wrong. He was fantastic earlier in the season. I don't forget that. He got injured and he come back and he had 2 or 3 absolute howlers before he got injured again. So
yeah,
I hope we get the Phil Jones from early in the season, but I just don't think we will, because he takes time. So I would, like you say, I'd put Twansibi in there because he'd be more alert than Phil Jones. And I think right back is kind of, like you said, the position that it gets you out the thick of it a bit. I think you can make more mistakes at right back, one mistake at centre back, and you concede in goals.
Everyday Gamer 305 says on his football app, Twansibi's right back and Rooney's up front. I'd be disappointed if Rooney's playing as the number 9 today. That's just not the way to play. You know, you've got to put Martial up front and hit them on the break. George Kyle says Jones will be right back. Carmichael says Jones will be a shambles. And Kwame says, I noticed all our team sheets this season have had the striker as the second to last name, says Kwame. Okay, so maybe Rooney might be playing on the left, Mata might be playing in a midfield 3 because he plays well with Herrera, and Mkhitaryan might be playing on the right. I'd be happy with that. Twansibi will handle Sanchez, says he, and a load of letters. Why use Rooney? Said El Raz. Ferris Odie has made a contribution. He says, thanks for that, Ferris. He says, hope fans don't slate Twansibi if he makes mistakes. Well, I don't think we would. I think we've got a lot more depth than that. Deborah MUFC says, give a video a like. Thanks, guys. Yeah, please do drop a like on the video. It'd be nice to get to close to 1,000 before kick-off. That'd be great. Smalling could play right back, says Evil127. A few of you asking about the bets. We did that a little bit earlier, but I can revisit it. I'll revisit it because at half-time we are giving away through Bet365 2 bonus £25 bets. You can win that. All you need to do is go to the second paragraph of the video description, click that link. It takes you to this page that should come up on your screen now. Get yourself signed up. Once you've signed up, you need to go England, obviously, because that's where we're looking at. And you need to go to, I always just go down, soccer, UK Sunday matches, Arsenal versus Manchester United, and I want to just check the Rooney odds anyway. I was going Anthony Martial to score at any time, which is 3.40. That's gone up. It was 3.25. So if you get on it now, tenner would win you 34 quid. Mata's gone up as well, Ross. Yours was 3.5. He's gone up to 4 to score at any time. So tenner would win you 40 quid. And Wayne Rooney's 3.5. So let's chuck those three on. I'm going for Martial to score at any time because I'm going for the hat-trick of getting it right. So Ross is going for Mata, which is the best value at 4. And Rooney's 3.5. So put a tenner on one of those and you would get 34 quid with mine, Martial, 35 with Rooney, and 40 with Ross's Mata. Sign up in the second paragraph of the video description and you will automatically go in our draw to win 2 £25 bonus bets at half time, and you'll go into the draw to win the Sir Bobby Jolton signed shirt on Thursday at half time for that. I can tell you that last time only 7 signed up for it, so you'd have a very good chance of winning it. But Waking the Fallen says Mata is great at those odds. I don't understand why they've gone up, Ross, to be honest. I mean, maybe the bookies are feeling that our chances have diminished of scoring. That's how it interprets it to me.
Yeah, it's a bit strange, but I don't really read too much into it. They're probably just offering better value to get more bets on it, which is a good tactic. Seen a lot of comments in the live comments. I have to shout it out for Twansibi to score at any time, which is at the minute it's 16-1, which is a fantastic outside bet.
You never know. Corner.
That's it.
What was I going to say? I will just bring this up. We're going to talk about it a little bit more depth tonight. I don't know whether you're going to be on the Sunday show or not, Ross, but Aguero to Manchester United. Would you take him?
Do you know what? I'd take him. I'd definitely take him just to up yours, the City fans. Don't think I'd ever. I warmed to. Yeah, I say warmed. When Van Persie came, I was enamoured with him. To be honest, thought he was fantastic. I wouldn't get that with Aguero. I just did because of that rivalry. But do you know what? I'd take him just to spite City. To be honest, but he's not. It's not happening. I know it's come from Duncan Castles, and he is. He is normally quite a good source. I just think he's thrown a complete curveball with this
he's
one.
the one who mentioned Joe Hart as well. I tweeted it last night. I said, look, Duncan Castles has lost all credibility of being the supposed journalist that's very close to Mourinho because his last two, Joe Hart and Aguero. I mean, Aguero I could live with, even though it does bother me that he is the player that it just haunts me. Aguero! I'll never forget that day when they won it with that last kick, and that would be hard to take, and I am a bit old school about that. Joe Hart, I would be furious if we signed him. I don't want him anywhere near our club, nowhere near it. Nicholas Anderson's made a contribution. Thank you, Nicholas. And he's got an interesting thing. He says, Samuel Luckhurst, who is not somebody I really like from the Manchester Evening News, dickhead. I've got every right to call him that because he started an argument with us about 8 months ago and blocked us. Very immature man. But he's at the game and says that Martial is up front in the warm-up drills with Mickey on the left wing, Mata on the right wing and Rooney at centre attacking midfield. Two things I'd say about that. One, if it's true, very happy. Second, I've been to many football games and I've never seen the team line up in warm-ups the way that they're going to play. It's not like they're having a little mini-match. I don't know where he's coming at with that, Ross. Have you ever seen that?
Well, do you know what? They do that kind of shooting at the goalkeeper thing. And they I don't see it. I'm with you, Mark. They do kind of line up as a team, but then they all swap about. The wingers do tend to stay wide. I'll give him that. So he's probably seen that Martial isn't wide. So he might have seen something in that. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say. And just to back you up, I don't like Samuel Luckers. I don't like MEN as a thing. It's just clickbait for me.
No, I mean I don't normally like to call people names, but not many people like that particular journalist. He's got a very big chip on his shoulder when it comes to fan content, YouTube, stuff like that. And you know what? Wake up and smell the coffee, Samuel, because the written press are dying. And that is because you go to university, you get your journalism degree, and it used to give you a ticket to just write whatever you want and brainwash the masses. And now the great advent of social media means that you get content like this and others where you get genuine fan content, genuine passion, genuine opinion, genuine debate. And those people can't now brainwash people with their own opinion. I think it's fantastic, but a lot of them hate it because they're dying because of it. So I think it's great, and I know there's not just the United stand. A lot of you have been mentioning Arsenal Fan TV. There are other content providers out there, and generally, whether I get on with those people or not, I think the concept is fantastic because it promotes genuine opinion, and that's why they don't like it. But somebody just said that we've had another super chat, so I just want to double check that. Fast approaching full. I was excited about this game anyway. I think it's going to be really interesting now. I suppose the one thing I would say, Ross, about this that has changed in me, I was really looking forward to it, but I was actually quite relaxed about it because I was like, you know what, we can win this. I'm confident we can win it. Probably be a draw. Doesn't really matter because Thursday's the big game. What's happened now because of that Liverpool result is I'm actually quite nervous now. Because it matters a little bit more. So I'm like, I don't want us to lose. As much as I'm relaxed if we do, I thought I'd be relaxed if we did, because we are not playing our first team and Thursday's our big game. I just think now, because Liverpool have left that door open again, it's sort of like, I want to win, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I'm with you, and a lot of that spawns from the fact that it's Liverpool. I mean, if it was West Brom we were fighting for top four with, I'd probably say just let them have it and let's focus on Europa League. Couldn't care less. But because it's Liverpool and there's a chance to get one up on them, not just this weekend, but over the whole season, is what drives us on, because it's never nice to finish below Liverpool, regardless if we get Champions League. I know we'd have won 2 trophies, but it's just never nice to finish below Liverpool. So yeah, massive chance today because Liverpool got one up on us last weekend. It'd be nice to claw that back and go back into our hands. And let's not forget that, I know we've got supposedly a difficult run in, but Tottenham have got absolutely nothing to play for now, and they always bottle their last 2 games. Rachel Riley said it on Friday. So, if we win today, it's always a big if, it is definitely back in United's hands.
Ferris Odie did make a contribution. Thanks for that. He said, hope fans that know we did that one. It was Patrick O'Connor. Thank you, Patrick. He said, Herrera to pocket Sanchez today. Well, it'd be interesting to see if we do a man-to-man marking. To be honest, I wouldn't give Liverpool that respect. I think it was well worth doing it against Chelsea. I wouldn't give Arsenal the respect of... Sorry, I said Liverpool, didn't I? Arsenal the respect of man-marking them. I think, play our natural game, see what happens. Nocky's made a contribution. Sorry, Vince Chapman's made a contribution. He says, love Herrera's mentality. We'll obviously have to play 4 games in 2 weeks, so he must have said to the gaffer he wanted to start. Last game at White Hart Lane, says George Kyle to Ross, which is very true. Look, if we don't win today, it's academic. If we do win today, it becomes a massive game next Sunday. But all our games have been massive at the moment. Somebody's asking why Graham Souness calls us Man U, because he's a CUNT. He knows exactly that Man U is a derogatory term. He's played football in this country for a long time. He used to play for Liverpool. You know what? There's certain things we're not allowed to say about Liverpool because it's like derogatory, and we don't. But he knows full well that Man U's derogatory, and that's why he does it on purpose, because he can't stand us. Richard Stainer's made a contribution. Thank you, Richard. He says, imagine the joy of Aguero scoring for United against City. Be interesting. But no, I agree with what Ross was saying there about Liverpool. We have handed them top 4 on a plate. There's so many points we've dropped at home. If we could have just had 2 or 4 from Stoke, Burnley, West Ham, Hull, Bournemouth, West Brom, Swansea, Arsenal at home, that was 2 points. If we just had another 2 points from about the 18 that we've dropped at home, and dropped, when I say dropped, sometimes I think the Everton game I would never include that at home because that was probably a point we deserved. To win it would be stretching it, but there's been numerous games we should have won and bad finishing cost us. We've handed Liverpool that top 4 place, so I'm with... Some people, I think, Ross, say they don't really understand the Liverpool rivalry. And I've got no disrespect if you don't, but if you do understand it, I mean, it's massive. It's the biggest rival for me. I'm not from Manchester, so Man City are a local rival, but the rivalry with Liverpool is head and shoulders above anything for me. So if we get top 4 through the Europa League, great. But if I could be greedy and nick top 4 and Liverpool don't get it, that would be just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, I'd rather Arsenal got top 4 than Liverpool. I just don't want Liverpool to get it.
Yeah, no, definitely that. I'd love to see Arsenal nick top 4 and anything to get Liverpool out of it. Because I think United will get Champions League regardless with Europa League, or I think I'm hoping. But it's just that I think it'll be the end. I think Arsenal will bounce back from not getting top 4. I think that they've got the finances and that they will rebuild. And I think every club goes through that. We were just blessed that we had a manager that could rebuild us whilst winning trophies. It was phenomenal. It never happened again. But I think Arsenal will bounce back. I just think if Liverpool don't get top 4 this season, I think we could be seeing the end of them as a top 4 club. They'll always be around the top, but I think they're just stooping to kind of Everton's level of players. Because I look at both teams. Look at Everton's starting 11, and it's 50-50 for players for me. I think Everton have got 5 or 6 players that would easily get into Liverpool's team.
I was talking about it on one show. I think it was my show last night on the Mark Goldbridge channel. I predicted that Mourinho would get the sack in the summer before he did. I just sort of sensed it, and I said it last night. I think Klopp's going to get the sack next year. I do. I think he's massively underachieved. I think they go on about him being some sort of king. I think he's got one way of playing, and he's been found out loads of times this year. And I agree with you. I think whether they get Champions League or not, I think Liverpool will not do anything of note next year. I personally think that Liverpool should be pushing Chelsea all the way for the title. They've had no European football. He could have sorted the squad issues out. They've got one way. They've had an awful season, and I think Klopp will get the sack. And I'd laugh about it as well, because the more Liverpool don't succeed, the happier I am. I can't stand them. And people can say that's petty or not. I've never liked Liverpool. I don't like them. And to be honest, most proper Liverpool fans cannot stand Manchester United, and I respect that. I've got friends who are Liverpool fans. I'll go for a drink with them, I get on with them, but when it comes to football, I respect how much they hate my club as much as I hate theirs. And that's the way it is. I've always had that, and they were very successful when I was growing up in the 80s, and that's where a lot of the hate comes from. But there's very big similarities between Manchester United and Liverpool in relation to how passionate we are about our clubs, how much we love our history of our clubs. But The big difference is Liverpool are they're a bit like an old pair of pants. They need putting in the bin and thrown away. They're never coming back. But Manchester United, we are still relevant. I mean, I had an Arsenal fan saying to me today, I can't remember, it was some sort of tweet. They were on about, they were taking the piss about the fact that we're not in the Champions League. And I thought, the great thing I like about United fans, Ross, is that we've never moaned over the last 3 years that we should be winning titles because we know that we've been a long way, even this year. But Liverpool and Arsenal fans, every year, they think they've got a right to win it and they moan about not winning it. And we won the title 3 years ago, but for the last 3 years, I've never heard a United fan moaning, we should be winning the title. There's a lot of realism in the United support that we know we're not and haven't been close to winning a title. What we want to see is progress. And I think we are seeing that with Mourinho.
Definitely, and that's why I love not just United as a club, but our fan base. I think it's the best in the world, and I think I didn't mind Arsenal's fan base until Twitter was created, to be honest, and I think they've just shown themselves up on that. My dislike for Arsenal purely comes through Twitter and their fans and their stupid Twitter polls. But I think that the progress at United is real, and we can see it, and we've seen it all season. And even if, and it's a big if, and it's not going to happen, we don't get top four and we don't get Champions League by not winning Europa League, the progress is there, and it will continue next season. And I said it sort of last week that Mourinho will have a contingency plan. He's not all his eggs in one basket type of guy. He'll know that there's a chance that we won't get top four and we won't get Europa League. He'll already have his players earmarked as to who he's going to buy and who he's going to sell. So that's what I like about Mourinho. I think he has loads of different plans, and he knows how to take on a situation. And we've all seen it. We sing the songs about it. Jose's playing the way United should, and he is, and it's fantastic to see. And I know a lot of people get on, the 0-0 to Man City or whatever. Ferguson used to do that when it suited him and when he needed it, and we backed it because he was a winner at United. And I think people forget that every Champions League away tie towards the sort of last 5-6 years, when we were really effective in the Champions League, Ferguson was the absolute master at a 0-0 draw. And to have a manager in charge that can pull out a 0-0 draw when he fancies it, I think shows testament to only the mental strength of the squad, but to his coaching abilities as well.
If we don't get Champions League football, I'll be totally honest, I will be disgusted, disappointed, and say it was inexcusable, because the amount of points we've dropped at home has been inexcusable, and the Europa League is there to be won. But I would never be Mourinho out, and also I think regardless of whether we get Champions League football or not, and I will be very angry and very disappointed if we don't, I'm not going to lie, I still think we'll win the title next year, because I think what you'll see is a Chelsea situation whereby you've got no Champions League football. I know we'd still be in the Europa League, but I think Mourinho would think, well, we really tried to do it last season. We got all the way to the semi-final or final and we didn't do it. I am not investing in it like I did last year. I'm going to make sure that we are competitive in the league, and that's the priority. I think this year he's got a bit lost in that because we didn't win the games we should have done. And he will make signings to make us more clinical. And I think we will win the title next year regardless of where we are, because I think that will be the focus. And Mourinho always wins the title in his second year. So it'll be very interesting. But are you going to come back at half-time, Ross?
Yeah, I'll be on at half-time, mate.
Okay, that's great. Well, thanks for joining me for that preview hour. You can follow Ross at Hazza90, and he'll be back at half-time with his thoughts. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Fingers crossed, Mark. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, pal. This game has, as we've been discussing, taken on another level because Liverpool have blown it. And we are in a position where if we win today, it suddenly makes it very, very, very interesting. However, we're approaching my favourite part of the Watchalong. This is the United Stand. This isn't my favourite bit. I'm building up towards it. If you are new to the United Stand, thanks everybody for getting involved. I know a few of you are new because you've been saying that you've subscribed. I can't shout everyone out because there's quite a few of you, but you're very welcome. This is the United Stand, YouTube's biggest independent Manchester United fan channel. We've always got the live chat, as you can see. We're always very much about fan opinion. Tomorrow night at 8:30 is probably one of my favourite shows on the United Stand now, if not the favourite. Skype Goldbridge. You Skype in and you have your say. We're live at 8:30 for an hour. You Skype in, you dictate the show, whatever you want to talk about, whatever's bothering you. Fantastic show, and it's going really well. We're also live at 8:30 every single night apart from Saturday with some sort of show, whether it's previews or transfer talk or some big talk about some big news. Live at 8:30 every night. And now, until the end of August, we are live at 7 a.m. every morning with the Transfer Daily. Started it last week. It went really well received. Different studio by Draughty Devil. So there is double content, new content, 2 a day on the United Stand. Subscribe. Make sure you click the bell when you subscribe and get notifications. You've found a fantastic community. Whether you get involved in the live comments, whether you get involved in the comments below, there's loads going on. So get involved and you're very welcome on the United Stand. But we are approaching kickoff. We are 4 minutes away. If you have subscribed, thank you. And get commenting. Let us know where you're watching from, because the great thing about the United Stand from day one is we've always been a global inclusive channel. We're not one of these top reds who say you've got to go to games to be a real fan. You've got to be from Manchester to be a real fan. Fishing Ninjas, subscribe. Thank you, pal. How to contribute, said somebody. I did notice that one. If you can see a $ at the bottom, it's not available in all countries. Click the $. Make sure you leave a message and we'll give you a shout out for that. But we're also on Patreon as well. The United Stand on Patreon. We've got a secret, an exclusive members club, exclusive content on there if you fancy that. That's going quite well. Loads going on with the United Stand. But let us know where you're watching from, because it's my favourite part. Where are you watching from? Because I know there'll be people. And if you can also tell us what time you are watching as well, that would be fantastic. Because I'm always interested. I know some of you will be watching in the early hours, etc. Someone from Russia, Tipperary Island from James, Colorado, Colin Smithable in the USA, UK for Wakas, Wales for Jacob, Kenya for Jurgen, Barbados for Onyx, Bulgaria for OTXB, Scotland, Lewis White, South Africa, Black Mamba, Norway, Jamaica, Japan for James Ward, North Yorkshire for Colegio 26, Calvin's in Cape Town, South Africa. We've got Liminster in MAUS, enjoy the game, Kazito. All the way from Australia, Charlie Machello. So that would that be about 2 in the morning? On a school night as well. You've all got school tomorrow, haven't you? Monday. Virginia, Northern Ireland, Newcastle, Jamaica. It's 8:30 a.m. in India, says Rooney number 1. Wigan, it's 3 minutes to 4, just like here, Gary. It's 5 o'clock in Norway, says Cool Guy. It's Jamaica and it's 9:55, says Ron Rook. Sander, I know you're trying to call. I'll get you on in a minute. And there was somebody there I was going to read out. It's whiz by, it always whizzes by. Birmingham, TC Singh. Indonesia for Farhan. Pakistan for Fufu. Estonia, Sligo Island. San Antonio, Texas, and it's 10 a.m. for Brian Parr. It's a lovely day in the UK, in the Midlands today. Love it when it's warm. Nottingham, says the Red Devil podcast. And Arsenal Fan TV and Chill, says Damien Rickett. It's not if we lose. Dublin, boom, boom. I lived there for 3 years. Jules King, Indonesia, Farhan, he's done that. Antigua, it's 10:58. I am keeping an eye on the game. 5 p.m. in Malta, says Rocco. And Guatemala, never shouted that out. Daniel Gonzalez. Like the video, says Evil127. Yeah, please do drop a like. We could still get 1,000 before kickoff if everyone did it now. It's 1 a.m. in Australia, says Thomas Tuhu. Malaysia for Maradona, Lawrence. And 11 a.m. in Orlando for Tevin. I think it's just very interesting for people to know how many people we've got involved watching this channel and the support of Manchester United around the country and what sort of times you get up at. 11 a.m. in Niagara, Canada. Don't fall. And Bilbao, Spain, says Kenneth O'Donnell. It's 2:57 a.m. says Likes 15 in New Zealand. Philippines, 11 a.m. in New York. We are the global club. And the great thing is there'll be a few Liverpool fans who've tuned in as well. Absolutely gutted, looking at the great global support Manchester United have. And you've just bottled another game at home. Very funny. Okay, let's get Sander on.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. I'm quite nervous now. I'm in the same boat as you. I was quite chilled out about it before I saw the Liverpool result, but now that Liverpool have drawn, this game means a lot more than I initially thought it would do.
It is just about to kick off. I've just realised I haven't sorted out the timer, so I will hand over to Xander in a moment while I sort that out, but we'll get that sorted. Too much talking from me. Let me find it.
No, I'll just waffle on whilst you do that. Yeah, I just think today, seeing Twanzebe, we've kicked off now. Seeing Twanzebe starting is obviously a massive bonus. I'm just scared though, because either Welbeck or Sanchez, one of them will definitely play on that side, and his work's going to be cut out for him. They are Arsenal's biggest dangers, and Twanzebe, he's young, he's not very experienced. To put him against Sanchez and Welbeck shows great trust from Mourinho.
He's definitely playing it right back, Twanzebe. That's the first thing I would say, because Phil Jones is mauling at centre-back. Mourinho patrolling his technical area already. I've got that wrong.
Yeah, Martial up front as we expected.
Well, that's good to see, because we've got to hit them on the break. All eyes will be on Twanzebe, of course, as it should be. But he should relax and enjoy it. It's a big game to have to play up against Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah, definitely. And he's like I said, he's a fantastic player. I worry a little bit for him. But, if Mourinho trusts him to do a job there, then that's a good sign.
Arsenal just on the break there.
I hate Arsenal.
Gungshi has made a contribution. He says, Mark, what would you choose? Get top 4 and keep Fellaini for 4 years, or miss out on top 4 and sell Fellaini? I can't answer that question, Nate. You know what my mind is thinking, but reality is you've got to get Champions League football, even if it means keeping Fellaini. But I don't know if it was a real question and I was really being asked it by Mourinho, and I had that opportunity to get rid of Fellaini, I don't know whether I could turn it down. But common sense would say yes, take top 4 and keep Fellaini. Nice little break here. Mata coming in down the right.
He's important to have back, Mata. He turns up in big games. He scores important goals. I think it'll be a massive bonus for us today.
Put a cross in there. Rooney over the bar.
Ooh.
Got there.
Positive start.
Yeah, positive start from United. Good start from United. I don't think we've got anything to fear. I think we can win this game. I think we can lose this game. But we've got to go out and do everything we can. Whatever the result. And I don't want us to lose. But the great thing will be is if Pogba, Bailly and Rashford don't play 1 minute, they've had a week off. And that is a positive that we've not really discussed too much about. That we've been able to put a competitive side out and still rest 3, and Valencia as well, 4 of our big performers at the moment. I mean, Herrera would have been nice. But to be honest, I think to rest Herrera, who are you going to play in the midfield? It really would have to play a kid, and I think that was probably a step too far, which has been proved right, because Mourinho wouldn't have known the Liverpool result when he picked this team, and if he'd picked a kid in the midfield, he probably would have been thinking, damn, I wish I'd picked somebody with a bit more experience, because we've got to at least try and do as well as we can with the resources we've got.
Yeah, you've got to try and maintain some kind of... Well, that's a bad tackle there. He's gone straight from Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, it should be a yellow card.
Yeah, definitely. But you've got to try and maintain some kind of core, experienced lineup, and then put in some youth around it. But I'm happy with the team today. Really?
No.
Oh. But see, how is that not a booking? I mean, you could argue it's the beginning of a big game, but still, Rooney, free kick. He's got a good delivery. Stick it in there. Oh, well, I'll say that.
Kiss of death on that. Andre Mariner is... I'll put it out there now. I've already got a bad feeling about this ref. It was a blatant yellow card, and he decides not to give it. So I know some referees don't want to give them early on, but...
Arsenal in here. Twanzebe. One thing I will say as well, Mourinho was saying about, he's made it very clear to the press and to the public that this game is less important than the one on Thursday, and I'm wondering whether that will have a positive or negative effect on us as a team. We could react to it and go, they might want to prove themselves, these reserve players, but we could also become a bit lackluster and think, oh, it's all right, we won't try as hard for it. Thursday's the big game, so it's interesting to see how that will play out.
Good start here. He can
Go
put
on.
Martial in if he runs it correctly.
Put him in.
He did. Oh, good side netting. Martial did about everything he could do there. The weight of the pass from Rooney was good. And to be honest, I was sort of thinking, Rooney picks it up. He's got Martial running in behind. He weights the pass perfectly. Koscielny can't do anything. I was sort of hoping Koscielny might chop him down because he's actually in the box. But Martial pretty much does everything he can do there.
That was good defending from, I don't know who that was, from the Arsenal player. Got across quick enough.
But good start from United, hitting them on the break. Remember, Arsenal are no Jedis. They've not had a very good season, and I think the worst thing we can do with this corner's broken down is allow them to hit us on the break, which they are at the moment.
Yeah.
We need to get plenty of men behind the ball at all times and don't let them hit us on the break. And now we have got men behind the ball, so that's it. Now just relax, let them do what they want to do. Let them try and pass through us because we just have 2 banks of 4. But it was encouraging from Martial. That I don't think Rooney could have done any more. I don't think the way to the pass from Rooney was good. Martial had not much of the goal to aim at by the time the defender came across, but he got it on target, and that pace is important. And it's nice that, it's not nice that Zlatan's out, but it's nice that when we can rest Rashford, you can just put Martial in and up front, and you've still got that pace.
I mean, and I wouldn't wish injury on anyone, and Zlatan is a very important player to us, but it has allowed us to look to the future a bit and test out, the players that maybe wouldn't have got a chance and maybe would have been off in the summer. And I think Martial hopefully can prove himself to, keep his place in the side for next year.
And Rooney certainly looks up for it, which is great. I mean, he is the captain. He was aggressive against Burnley, and he was poor against Swansea again. But I think if Rooney, this is Arsenal, it's a big game, big stage. I'm just hoping that if Rooney can find that aggression that we saw bits of against Burnley, which I haven't seen for a long time, if he can be aggressive again, I think he can have a good game again.
How many times have we said this though, Mark?
Yeah. Rooney's gone in the summer, I think, and whether you're a Rooney fan or you're not a Rooney fan, there's comfort in that, because if you are a Rooney fan, you probably know his days are numbered and you don't want him to fade out, and if you're not a Rooney fan, you want him to go. So I think everybody's on the same page that if we can get some good performances out of him before the end of the season, before he moves on, then that's great.
It's just we always seem to say, hopefully this game Rooney will turn up just for one game, and he never seems to actually turn up and play well. But let's be positive. Hopefully he will turn up and play well. Slip him in. Oh.
There's Miss Martial down the left. Oh, he's done one. He's into the box.
Go on.
He's got 4 players on him. Herrera.
Potential.
Oof, I'll tell you what, there could be a penalty in this if they're not careful.
Yeah.
The corner. Yeah. United started off very, very well. Fantastic start from United, and Arsenal all at sea at the moment.
And considering this is our, I know these are, a lot of them are internationals, but considering this is our second string side, it's absolutely fantastic and shows how deep our squad is. To be away at Arsenal and essentially dominating the game is absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's an opportunity, isn't it? There's big games to come for Manchester United. We all pretty much suspect that top 4 won't be easy to get. So players, if they play well, can they force their way into Europa League plans? But with that result to Liverpool as well, result from Liverpool today as well, these players, you could be playing for top 4 as well. So there's lots of opportunities. That was poor by United.
Oh, Jesus!
Save by De Gea.
What a save!
That was too
what
easy.
A save.
I mean, I think it's a defence splitting pass, but I think somebody will be at fault here.
Is that
Darmian?
No, I think Jones.
Darmian's got to go with the runner, I think. It's a good start. It's a good save from De Gea. So we were all over them, and then they get a chance as well. But a very good start to the game. Very good start to the team. And as Alex Samuel says, what a good save, Ian Ford. What a save. De Gea showing, this is my concern. This is my concern in the Europa Cup, and this is why I would always pick De Gea over Romero, because there may well come a time when there's a save that Romero can't make that De Gea can, and that's why I would always pick De Gea.
Yeah, I was just about to say, don't underestimate that save. That is a world-class save. He's got down very quickly, to the bottom right. He's absolutely world-class. I think he's the best keeper in the world, and he will be a miss in the summer, but we've got to move forward. I think Romero will be our number 1 next season. Scarily or not, I think he will be.
Well, United are moving the ball around well. For anybody who watched my tactics preview, which I do before every Premier League game on the Mark Goldbridge channel, this is very similar. For those who watched it, you'll see very similar. Keeping hold of the ball, not looking to force it, but keeping hold of the ball, and then when Arsenal get the ball, getting all our men behind the ball, and looking to hit them every now and again on the break. And patience is the key in this, because Arsenal have to win. If Arsenal don't win, then they may as well just say 6th. If we don't win, we're probably not going to get top 4, but we've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I was just laughing there when you said about the 6th, because you remember how much stick they were giving us about sixth, and it's absolute. You spent all this money and you're sixth. I will laugh so much if they end up sixth. Honestly, stepping through. Oh,
Martial's just timing his runs a bit. He's going a bit too soon at the moment. Once they start to figure that out,
I think Mata could have played that earlier though.
Yeah. Mata's the perfect player to have. I mean, Mkhitaryan, Mata and Rooney all behind Martial. If he makes the runs, then we're in for a bit of fun today.
It does lack a little bit of pace though, doesn't it?
Somebody's just done about super chats. I've done all the super chats. We did Gung Shi's about Fellaini, and we did Richards about Aguero. So we're on top of those.
Good little turn there from Twanzebe.
But this is good from United. It's just movement to the ball, keeping hold of the ball. And this will start. Well, we're 11 minutes in. Remember, this is Old Trafford. Arsenal fans will start to get frustrated by it as well. I don't know what's happened here, but Mkhitaryan is offside.
Yeah, Arsenal pride themselves on their possession and tiki-taka football when we're dominating possession at the Emirates. It's fantastic.
Mata and Martial look good together, says Niall Simmons. Any team news for Thursday, says Gio. Let's get today out of the way. And no movements in the final third. It's so bad, says Intoxicated Days. It's all about opinion. I don't see that at all. That would not be my interpretation of the first 10 minutes. We've got Martial in through one-on-one. He's ran at the back forward once as well in 10 minutes. I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And we've kept hold of the ball quite well. And this again, from my tactics preview last night, I was doing this. Arsenal have the ball in our half, side to side, and we've got 2 banks of 4, and we're not leaving gaps, which is great.
You're a tactical genius, Mark.
I actually am. I have watched a lot of football in my life, and I've hung around people like my granddad and stuff who used to manage his own sides and that, so I know a lot. But we all do. I think the way there's so much football around now, there's so much analysis that we all pick up things that 20 years ago. I was thinking about something before that when I was like keeping in contact with scores when I was like at secondary school and that, it was teletext page 302, and most people on the live chats won't have a bloody clue what I'm on about there, because there was no internet. There was no mobile phone. If you wanted to keep in contact, I mean, the only good thing is that most Premier League games, but it wasn't the Premier League then as well, it was Division 1, were 3 o'clock Saturday, but you had no wall-to-wall football coverage. You used to get one game on a Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, and it was teletext. That was it. You wouldn't know who assists or stuff like that. You wouldn't know. All you're interested in was the goal scorer.
Yeah, my granddad still watches that.
Teletext.
Yeah. In Holland.
I thought they got rid of it, but I used to love it. 302.
Nah, in Holland he's still got it on. Don't know why.
But yeah, I think people are far more knowledgeable now about their football because there's so much there. I mean, obviously we're doing the transfer dailies on the United Stand at 7 o'clock every morning now, right through to the end of August. And people often say, how do you know so much about transfers? And we might be on a break here.
Go on. Just
giving the foul. Fair play.
Possibly
Martial checks down.
Would you say that's a yellow card or would you say that's just a foul?
I would say it's a yellow card, but all I'm going to say about this referee is I will reserve judgment until United do a foul, and if he gives us a yellow card, then it's not on.
Yeah, it's consistency that we're looking for as fans, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I often get asked how do I know so much about transfers and European players, and I mean I'm very interested in transfers. I'm sure a lot of you play your Championship managers. I was brought up on that, so you get to know. It just becomes ingrained in you. But also, I watch quite a lot of European football because it's so easy if you've got Sky and BT. It's so easy to watch European football. Like there's matches tonight I'll watch in Serie A and La Liga. And I do like every season to be able to say I've watched, at least every team of any good in the Liga or Serie A or Germany a few times a season because you get to know about these players then. But
good defending there from Herrera.
Herrera did well. Got caught by Welbeck. Should have been a foul. Refs played on.
That was quite dangerous from Welbeck there. Showed promising attacking movement. I think he will score today against us. He just, like Ross said, he always seems to score against us. And like I agree with you as well, I wouldn't have let him go. He's dangerous.
A lot of people impressed with Swansea so far. Lucas says that. Darude says Swansea's playing well.
Yep.
I think the tactics at the moment are working really well. We're only 15 minutes in, but I mean, the thing about Welbeck, to go back to that, is that it wouldn't surprise me if he scored either, because I think he's it's the club that got rid of him, isn't it? So he's always going to be up for it.
Yeah.
And Mood says that Phil Jones can't keep up with Ozil's pace, which is worrying because I don't think Ozil's that quick.
No, Ozil always seems to bottle it, doesn't he? He has a few good games a season, but I don't know how much they pay for him. 50 million?
Yeah, he did cost a lot. The thing about Phil Jones is that Ross said it before the game. He did have that really good run with Rojo, and
No, he beat Tottenham.
But then he got injured, and then he came back, and then he obviously got injured again. But before he got injured the second time, he actually made a lot of mistakes and wasn't playing that well. So it's one thing to bear in mind that Phil Jones actually wasn't even playing that well. Is Arsenal on the attack?
Twanzebe just got past there. Well, I think he's done well so far, Twanzebe. Not had too much to do, but when he has, he's seemed confident and composed.
Corner for Arsenal. We should not be conceding a goal to Arsenal from corners. They don't really... I mean, Koscielny's always a threat, but we shouldn't be conceding to them.
No, we don't have too much height. I mean, we've got the, was it Smalling, Jones and Twanzebe? I think they're all above 6 foot. But other than that, Rooney, Mata, they're not too tall. Mkhitaryan.
I think Martial's done well. He's
Go on, mate.
Off down the left.
Go on.
What's happened
Oh,
there?
What?
Given a handball against it. I thought Martial's had a good start. I think the refs had a bloody nightmare. I don't know what he's on about here.
What's gone on here? A foul?
That's his shoulder, isn't it? The linesman will have given that because the ref wouldn't have been able to see it.
I don't know about that.
Troll makes a good tactical point. He says this is starting to look like the City game. Wingers getting pinned back. I don't know. I think we've had more control of the ball than we did against City. And I think that City was just always parking the bus. But I don't feel as concerned about Arsenal as I did against City. Maybe that's confidence before a fall. But I don't. And I like the look of Martial up front. I think we've heard that he wants to play there. And it's his opportunity to prove it. And he's doing quite well.
I think I love Rashford, as do you, but I think Martial's got more potential, especially with the ball at his feet. He's so skillful, and when he finishes, Rashford, yeah, you can improve on his finishing, but at the moment, Martial, when he finishes, he's so composed and relaxed, and I really do like him up front.
See, Arsenal are now pressing us, not letting us take the ball from the back four to Carrick, which is not a bad ploy by Arsenal, to be honest. But
I'll tell you what, right? I've got a few mates at school who support Arsenal, and you hate Liverpool a lot. I have that kind of hatred for Arsenal because they're always in my ear. And one of them, right, he's called JB. I'm sure he's watching this at the moment. He claims he's an Arsenal fan, but he's got Liverpool gloves, United shirt. I think he's got a Chelsea pair of shorts. He's an absolute... They're all deluded. They're all muppets.
The modern football fan, the half and half scarf in all its glory.
Yep.
I would hate to lose this though, as much as I know we are playing our not our first team. It is
Martial showing some fight there. I like that.
Yeah. Mourinho like that as well.
Yeah, because that's what we've criticised him, about in the past. He's not showing enough fight or desire. He looked hungry there. I like that.
The thing is, Mata and Mkhitaryan and Rooney will love this sort of game as well because Arsenal, they like to play football. So
Rooney's favourite ball.
Yeah, well done, Twanzebe. He's got in.
Go on.
Foul by Sanchez.
Brilliant.
Lovely play. Well done, lad. Young kid doing that against Sanchez. Mugged him off. Great
Love
play.
that. That'll give him confidence and Mourinho confidence as well. That's fantastic. Put a good ball in there, Mata. Yeah, get our heads on this. Smalling, we've got Smalling back in the team, which is good. Aerial threat.
He scored on my tactics preview last night. It was a cracking game. It finished 2-2, but we went 1-0 up through Smalling. So it was around this time. Was from a corner though, not a Mata cross. He's well over it. That I think.
What is that? Say that though.
Oh no. Give it a goal kick.
Yeah. No, corner.
No, corner ball. Yeah.
I thought it was right as well. Yeah, good.
The ref was going to give a goal kick, but I think the linesman overruled it and said it was a corner. We're very close to 1,000 likes, says Owen Brazier. Please do drop a like on the video, and that'd be fantastic. Can't do these shows without all you lot. And Czech just comes and punches the corner away despite having nobody near him. It is good to have Mata back, Gungshi. I think he's just class. I think he's just very, very consistently good, and he's been like that all season. And I think at the moment, when to be honest, Mata was like a new signing when he said he was back fit, because.
Oh, that's late.
That's Xhaka
That was
again.
late.
It's Xhaka
That was
again.
late. Dirty. Oh, I hate him. That was mate. Ref, get your cards out. I'm not one for getting other people booked and all that kind of stuff, but that's ridiculous. They've had 3 or 4 late challenges now.
Yeah.
That was really.
He's dirty, that Xhaka, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had a few red cards. One of my mates, Kieran, right, Sports Arsenal, he thinks he's better than Kante.
I don't think he's better than Kante's mum. He should go back and book Xhaka now, but I bet he won't. Although I'm far more relaxed about the tackles because the key players we've got aren't actually on the pitch. So, I think if Pogba and everyone was on the pitch, it'd be like, bloody hell, ref, stop,
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I think apart from Herrera apart, this is not really our first team at the moment.
I think Fellaini would have started this game, but obviously, he got that suspension. I'd prefer, we'd all love to see Carrick play in the Europa League. Fellaini. The worst thing he could have done.
Well, you're Dutch, aren't you? Or you've got Dutch origins. And I was, obviously, like I was saying before, I know a lot about European football players and everything like that, and I keep an eye on all the news. And there's a lot of Dutch analysis over this week from their journalists and their press, because obviously they're so far ahead against Lyon. I mean, it's a bit presumptuous because you never know in football, but they should be getting to the final. And they're already talking about how confident they are about beating Manchester United because they'll be able to exploit Fellaini, his lack of pace, and his lack of movement. Because I thought he was atrocious, absolutely atrocious against Celta Vigo. I think we basically played with 10 men and won that game.
I think that was one of his worst games, to be honest, and he's had a lot of them.
Just not, I don't blame him. I blame Mourinho. He's just not suited to that sort of a game where you're playing team with small players who move the ball fast, and you're not playing a high ball game. I think no wonder Ajax have sort of highlighted it. And
Ajax are a better team than Celta Vigo. They've got that Kluivert's son. Hang on, Arsenal.
Good tackle.
Yeah, they're a better passing team than Celta Vigo. So especially against Fellaini, he'll get absolutely overrun. Right, Martial in behind here.
The pace against Koscielny. Corner ball. Well done.
Brilliant.
That's all we want. Relieve the pressure. Set piece in their half. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we've done well so far. No one stood out quite yet, though. I think, to be honest, Twanzebe, one of them, he's done fantastically.
I think Carrick's done well as well. I don't know why we've hit a short corner there unless this works out.
Oh.
Goal kick. Rooney's had a couple of headers, a couple of half chances. A good point from Intoxicated Days there. Says we've got to challenge Czech now at this corner. Missed opportunity there. I think Czech is looking dodgy in the air. Martial's in beast mode, says Matt Hugh. Pogba on at half time, says Ton Wayne. It'd be interesting to see because we have got a very strong bench, and I'm sure he won't want to use it. But I think if the game was within reach with 10-20 minutes to go, he might just think, sod it. We're as good losing as we are drawing. Xhaka again. He's a little he's filthy, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, is it? No, I thought he was going to book him then.
You should book him. Jack Samrani says exactly the same. Xhaka again.
I tell you what, I wouldn't put I wouldn't. I'd be confident about Xhaka getting sent off today. He gets carried away. He goes into stupid. Go on,
Go on,
we're
put him
here.
in.
Put him in. Go on.
Cross was crap. Who was it? Mata on his right. That's the trouble with Mata on the right, though. He's got to cross it with his right, and he's left-footed.
Yep.
Oh, Rooney. It's a good job he didn't make
stupid.
connection there, because we would have booked him for that, and we would have all been going, oh, no one. You haven't booked anyone else. But to be fair, that would have been a yellow card for Rooney.
That was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid. And I wouldn't complain about it either. We wouldn't be happy with the lack of consistency, but it would have been a yellow card.
Darth Vader saying, come on, Mata there. Look, if Mata's right-footed, that's 1-0, because we've broken the offside trap and we're through. But
Mourinho arguing now. He'll get 3-match ban for that.
I just think it's unfortunate. Mata does all he can do. But there's a chance here for Welbeck. Good block by Phil Jones. Although, to be honest, he should not be letting him turn to get the shot in on the 6-yard box. But he got there in the end. It's good. I'm enjoying it. It's a good game. We've changed our whole back four, our whole midfield. We've changed our whole team, really. And this is Arsenal's
8 changes.
This is Arsenal's strongest side.
And considering this is, like you say, one of their biggest games of the season, they still believe that they can get top 4. So they're proper going for it, and we're just absolutely dominating them, in my opinion.
Rooney number 1 says, got a bad feeling about Welbeck. Well, he's playing up front, isn't he? He's obviously going to get chances. If he scores, it's no surprise. But as a few of you have said already as well, let's not forget, as much as it's probably not been the most satisfying unbeaten run, it is an unbeaten run. And why should it go today?
Yeah, I think, like Ross said, I think the unbeaten run, it's got draws in it, and hang on.
It's a crap cross.
Yeah, the unbeaten run's got draws in it, and it hasn't got us to the place we want to be, but it shows a certain mentality, and it shows that we're hard to beat. And if we get a few goal scorers or a goal scorer in, that unbeaten run, those draws will turn it. He was onside there, Martial.
Yeah.
But those draws will turn into wins.
Apple says, how's Sanchez been in your opinion? I think Sanchez has been pretty much what he's been all season from what I've seen of him. Well, not all season, but the last few weeks. He's just looks like a player who's leaving in the summer. Yeah,
especially, I don't know if you saw the interview. No, you probably didn't see it because you were obviously doing the preview to this. But he did an interview, and the way he was talking, I messaged my mates about it. He looks like he's going. My mates think that if Wenger leaves, he'll stay. I don't know what you think on that, but I just think he's leaving no matter what. I think he wants to go to a new club and a winning club.
You can't knock the lad for going, because
no,
whatever the banter with Arsenal fans, they're a club that consistently bottle things. And you know what's going to happen. If you play for Arsenal, that next season you're not going to win the title. You're going to get knocked out in the Champions League. Well, they probably won't be in the Champions League next year as well. But they're not going to win the title.
They'll think that they can win the title, though. They do every year.
And Alexis Sanchez, I think he's he's late 30s, mid to late 30s. It's hard to play in a one-man team as well.
Jesus, he's in. Dangerous. Goal.
Phil Jones is lucky there. Really lucky.
I tell you what, Mark, we've got very lucky there.
Well, Phil Jones has just got bullied off the ball. It's not a foul, it's a shoulder barge. No. And then it's...
good block that.
Smalley.
Was it? Yeah, good block. Your love child.
Ooh. Phil Jones gets it out. We're hanging on a little bit here.
Jesus.
I think the first goal was crucial. I think as long as we don't concede the first goal.
We're hanging on now.
Well, Arsenal will just get their tails up if they score the
Look,
first
they're
goal.
there, look. Sorry, there was an Arsenal man free.
Oh, Rooney.
God, oh.
I don't think Rooney's covering himself in glory at the moment.
He hasn't done for the last 3 years.
Good running by Mickey. Handball, ref, yes.
That's handball! Yeah, thank you, ref. Finally, something our way.
Well, the one thing I would say about Rooney, he's not had a very good game, to be honest, so far, but he is very aggressive. And that's good to see. I think Jacques has handballed that. He should be yellow carded, really. I think it'll be interesting to see if he is, but it's a good chance, that.
Wow.
Chad Sproul says, Mark, tell Xander to calm down a bit.
I'll get caught up in it. I can't help myself.
To be honest, we are the away. Oh, Rooney!
Oh, go on!
Oh, he's got to score. He's got to score. Bloody hell. Chances like that. Mess up at the back. He's through 1-on-1 on the 6-yard box. Rooney's got to score that.
Unforgivable. He has got to score that. He could even just pass it to... I think that was Herrera there. He could have passed it to Herrera as well. That's massive.
Corner.
Like you said, the first goal would have been absolutely crucial. Still is. Go on, go on! Right, now Arsenal have got men forward.
All right, we've dealt with it. Okay. Chance of the game, that, for Rooney.
Well, what's Ross got to say now?
I think Ross has sort of turned against him anyway, to be honest. I think he feels that he's sort of coming towards the end, which many of us sort of know, but... even Rooney of old, that would have been typical of Rooney over the last 3 years, where he doesn't necessarily have a good game, but then he gets the goal, and all the fanboys go, "Yay, Rooney!" But the problem with him now is he's not even getting that chance, is he? Well, he is getting the chance, but he should have finished it. Finished it.
I reckon you could have scored that, Mark.
Well, I don't know about that, but it was a great chance. He's got to score it. Chibugi says Rooney has no awareness. The thing is that's another thing he's lost, isn't it? Because as a top player, you've always got that awareness. Apparently, we've missed the super chat. Let me go and have a look.
Cool.
But an interesting half.
He's going slowly though.
It stays 0-0 and we just nick it at the end anyway. So.
Yeah. It's only 33 minutes in though. I thought we would have been coming up half time. Yeah,
it does feel like it should be, but it's still got 12 minutes left. Lovely stuff. But, what I would say, in total fairness, is it's a very even game of football, which, when you take into account that we're the away side, when you take into account that Arsenal need to win this and should be up for it with their first team, and this is not our strongest team, you can only give the plaudits to United, because we're not out of this tie by any means, and it's been, we've had the best chance of the game.
Yeah, but Arsenal have had a few chances as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I think it's been quite an even game, and I'm very happy with the way we've played.
Yeah, I think the last 5-6 minutes we've looked a little bit shaky at the back, but other than that, the tactics, like you say, hitting them on the break is the right thing to do.
I do think the first goal will be key. I'm not saying the first goal scorer, the first team who scores will win the game, but I think whoever doesn't score first will struggle to win the game. They might get back and get a draw, but I don't think it will be like coming from behind win. I think it's the first goal's very important.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Good ball that from Sanchez. Good. That's brilliant vision.
Well done, Phil Jones. Swansea, De Gea, and we're out. I do think he might just give Rashford the last 20 minutes, though. Because Martial's going to have to do a lot of running in this game.
Yeah.
Depending on the scoreline, that is. If it was like 0-0 or something like that, he might just think last 20 minutes I'm going to chuck a little bit more pace on. You know, Lingard's quick, isn't he?
I wouldn't bring Lingard on. I would definitely not bring Lingard on. I'd bring Rashford on. I think he'd absolutely tear the defence apart. But, you know, there is that fear of him getting injured. You know, you say, oh, it's only 20 minutes. You can get injured in a minute. So, I don't know. He's so crucial, Rashford.
I am Brian Newell says, dangle an old bird in front of Rooney and he would have scored. Very good. Very good. A lot of people saying, "Oh, you know, it's not that important because Europa Leagues are our aim." But
side there.
I'd still love to take top four because you know the Europa League we will never know until the last 10 minutes of the Europa League final whether we're going to get the Champions League or not. So I'd love to be in the Europa League final knowing we're in the Champions League because we finished top four. So we should do everything we can to win it.
Yeah, then we can enjoy the Europa League final slightly more rather than it being more of a nervous experience.
Marco says that Lingard will thrive in this game. I sort of agree with where you're coming from, Mark, because there's a lot of space in that final third. Because and you know, if it's a physical game, it doesn't suit Lingard. But if there's space and room for him to use that pace, it can work.
I don't know. I just think Lingard lacks quality, and he can get into the areas, but then he'll just blast it over the bar.
Well, the Emirates is near Wembley, so you know maybe some Wembley magic could come on. Chad Sproul, did you bet on a United win, Mark? No, my tip today was Martial to score at any time, which was very good odds actually. But I didn't. My score prediction was actually 1-1, which I'll be happy to be proved wrong about. I think it will be a draw.
Well, knowing us this season, you know, most likely it will be a 1-1 draw.
Loki Juice says he wants to see Lingard on because he can make amazing runs.
They're just showing Arsenal's chances back. Tell you what, they have had a few.
I don't think anything's as good as that Rooney one-on-one though. He's got to score that.
I think if you're an Arsenal fan and you're going into half-time 0-0, I think you'll be thinking we should be 2-2, 3 or 1 up at least.
I disagree. I don't think anyone is. I think either side obviously could be in front, but I think based on the play, I think it's, you know, if it's level at half-time based on this, it's been about right. I don't feel like Arsenal have dominated us at all. I think we've had, when you think about that chance Martial had, Rooney had, I think those chances were probably better than the ones Arsenal had.
Nah, I don't know about that. I think, you know, we've dominated in terms of
Rooney's
we've kept them at bay.
They've not had a chance as good as Rooney's.
Yeah, but they have had like 3 or 4 kind of very good chances. I know what you're saying about that Martial and that Rooney chance, but I don't know.
I think you've been hanging around your Arsenal mates too long, Xander. You sound like an Arsenal fan to me.
Just trying to be fair.
Why? No. I don't know what your understanding of the United stand is, but fairness to the opposition is certainly not.
No. I just think Arsenal have had a lot of chances. Yeah, I think it should be like we should definitely have scored that Rooney chance. But other than that Martial chance, yeah, it was a good chance, but they defended it well. And I think they've had a lot of opportunities. You know, we've done well. You know, I'm not saying we've done poorly. I think, you know, it's been a fairly even game, but they have had a lot of chances as well.
Would agree to this. Dukas says I'm going to miss Carrick so much. I think Carrick's been very, very good. I think, you know, we've still got 6 minutes till half time, but there's been some good performances. It's been great to have people like Mata back. I think Mkhitaryan has looked a lot better than he has in the last couple of games. I think Martial's done the job up front well. Herrera's looked good. But I would agree, I don't think Arsenal have played badly, and I think that's a reflection of how well our team has played, that it's been a very equal half, and this is Arsenal's first side.
That's a good pass that by Rooney into Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, it's a shame.
just gets turned, Rooney.
We moved the ball around very, very well. And,
we look comfortable.
3D3S Destroy 3R Gamer. God, make an easier name. Says we need to be playing better. In my opinion, we should sign someone like Casemiro. No, he didn't say that. He said Arsenal have been playing better. Just because we're United fans, we have to admit it. You know what, mate? It's all about opinion, mate. I disagree. I don't think Arsenal have been on top at all. I think it's been very equal.
You'd have to say they've had the better chances. No, overall, I know that. Okay, other than that Rooney one, they've had the majority of the good chances.
I disagree. I just think it's been a very equal game, and we had the best chance.
All right, fair enough.
But no, don't change your opinion at all.
No,
that's
I'm not.
Somebody just said that we're lucky to be going in at half time 0-0. So. Steve Hatt says sub Rooney has been useless. It's a 50-50 game, says Johnny Blaze. How's Smalling performing, says Evil127. To be honest, I wouldn't criticise anybody in this game so far.
Rooney, I'd criticise Rooney for that chance.
But you know what? Yeah, I can understand why people would be critical of Rooney. I think he's been turned a few times. He's made a good couple of passes, but he's got to score that chance. But in fairness to Rooney, who else would you play? We haven't really got anybody else to play without playing players that we don't want to.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you could put. I guess you're saving Lingard for the Europa League. I was going to say you could put Lingard on the right, put Mkhitaryan or Mata and Cam, and then drop Rooney.
Rooney number 1 says if we don't win, I think top 4 is gone. I think both teams are pretty much in that situation really. A draw is no good for either. I hope Herrera's just slipped there. I think he has, yeah. Oh no, it was Darmian anyway.
You say that, Darmian anyway. We're very short for fullback options. I think Darmian's the only.
Down the left.
Yeah.
But won't be disappointed if we go in at 0-0, to be honest, because we've not really mentioned it since the first few minutes that Mkhitaryan's got to do better there.
I think it's Herrera.
Oh, sorry, it's Herrera, yeah. Arsenal are the home side. I'd say into the second half, if it carries on like this, their moody, spoilt home support will start getting on their back, and that plays into our hands, really.
Yep. I would love
Jones, just get rid of it down the line.
Martial's had poor service, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just up on his own.
Yeah, but he's up on his own, and that means he could be isolated. But I think if you get good service into him, you can beat 2-3 men and create a chance out of nothing. But he just hasn't had the service.
Zach's saying we should have played Fosu Mensah. He's injured. Matt has been superb today. Says Rude 9 the master. I love Mata, and when he said he was going to be back, I expected him to be out for the season. So to get him back is massive, and it should not be underestimated really, because if Mata wasn't back, we would be forced to play somebody like Pogba today, which we haven't done, and that's great.
Yeah, I think to be fair, Pogba was my man of the match on Thursday. He was absolutely outstanding, and I think if Pogba was playing in this game, I know he shouldn't because we've got Europa League. I think we'd win easily. I think he's that good. Jones and Smalling are so far apart from each other. I play centre back all my life, and one thing you learn is try and work in a pair with your other centre back. And I don't know.
Well, they have played with each other a lot. They should know that. It's not like they're strangers. They
played
on quite well privately as well. So.
Well, Jones injured Smalling. I don't know about that. I think he was thinking I'll put him out, I'll get my chance, but then he got injured.
Weira Pira says this has been Fellaini's best game of the season. Love it. It has.
That's brilliant.
It said JB says I don't like these sort of shows. Show us the match. leave the show, mate, because this is what the watch-along's been for about a year now. We can't show you the game. We're not Sky. We're not BT. It's illegal to show you footage of the game. Amazes me that people still, I suppose, if you're new, you don't realise, but it's not how it works on here. We're approaching half-time. Arsenal are just currently on the attack here, but Twansebe's just standing up Gibbs.
Go on, mate. Done well.
Playing at right back when he's a centre back as well. That's something to be considered.
I mean, Fosu Mensah did that, didn't he?
Yeah.
And when you're a young player, you take every opportunity you can get.
Lovely by Carrick.
I think Martial should be doing better there. I know it was offside or whatever it was. I don't know.
Control it better.
Yeah. Edge of the box there, Ramsey.
Right,
well, shut
a little
down.
bit of a break here, Darmian. I don't know what he's going to look for.
What?
Oh, he's blowing up his half-time. So, right, okay, Sander, we'll get you back on the second half. Going to get Ross on now, but thanks for that, and I'll speak to you in a few minutes.
Speak to you in a bit, Mark.
Cheers, pal. Ross will be calling in a minute. What was your thoughts on that half? You know what? In summary, I'm more than happy with that. Whether I'll be happy with 0-0 at full time, well, we can't be unhappy with it when we're not picking our first team. But I think we'd all love to get a result and nick this and just put a little bit more pressure onto Liverpool for top four. But it's never going to be easy to come to the Emirates and win. And we are playing without Pogba, Rashford, Valencia, Bay, four of our big players, and we're more. Contrary to what a few people were thinking, we are more than holding our own in this game. Very happy with the performance. I'd say the only player that's not really playing that well is Rooney. He did miss the best chance, but he's the captain. He does look a bit up for it. So, you know, swings and roundabouts for me. Swings and roundabouts. But very, very happy with it. Very happy with that performance from us. And I think if we can hang in there, it's all going to be about who gets the best chance. And anybody can win it. Anyone can win it. Ross, thoughts on the half?
Do you know what? I was quite pleased with what I saw, to be honest. We obviously set out quite defensively. We conceded a couple of opportunities. I think through Phil Jones, not his fault. He's just a little bit lacking match practice. But I think going forward as well, we've looked quite good. I've actually quite enjoyed watching Martial today. I don't think he's particularly played that well, but I think he's showing a lot of desire and making the right runs, which I think is key. So overall, I'm actually quite pleased with that. And I think going into the second half at 0-0, I think we can quite easily nick this game from them.
Hey, it's Aya says Martial was basically non-existent. What you need to do is turn your telly on, because it won't do anything if you don't turn the telly on. I thought Martial is up front on his own with three players around him most of the time. He had a one-on-one chance where he did everything he could and the keeper saved it. He ran at a defence once. He's held the ball up quite well. He's made some intelligent runs. I think as a player up front on your own away from home, I think Martial's been pretty much, not flawless, but very good. Says Jones got found out quite often today. Look, Phil Jones is not a good defender. I think what people... it's a very easy trap to fall in, and I fell in it a bit in the first half, and you have to keep pulling yourself back to it, Ross, is this is not our first team, and we are playing Arsenal's first team at the Emirates, and they desperately want to win. And we're playing Jones and Smalling, who haven't played for weeks, as a centre-back pair. We've got a young kid playing at right-back. You've got Herrera and Darmian, who are tired. You've got Carrick and Rooney, who I think have been very good. Carrick, Rooney should have scored. It's not our first team. Mata just back from injury. Mkhitaryan struggling for form. And they've all done very well. I think in the circumstances, we cannot moan too much.
No, exactly that. I think that's the key point of that half. We can't moan. It's 0-0 at half time. It is our second string team, and I think there's been some, like you say, performances from players that I've wanted to see. I think Martial, I agree with you. I think he's actually been really good. I think he, as always, I think he could have done better. You could say that about every player that ever plays the game, to be honest. But he's doing the right things, and I think if he carries on as he has the first half, second half, he's going to get more opportunities, because their defence is only going to open up more as they start to chase the game. Because we haven't got to win this game now, especially with this Liverpool. I know we'd want to see us win, and in theory, top four is probably out if we draw, but we're still in it. They won't be. So I think they're going to come at us. I think the space will open up in behind them. I think the substitutions will be interesting because we've obviously got a lot of players lacking match practice, so they're going to have to come off. I don't know if it will be Jones, but again, I think you kind of alluded to it. It's not really his fault. He's just lacking a bit of match practice. But I kind of said it before that Smalling will be better equipped at coming into this team and with lack of match practice and putting in a more solid performance. I think Jones just needs practice to get to where he needs to be.
I spoke about that in the first half, actually, that depending on how this score is, if it was 0-0 with 10-15 minutes to go, do you think there's a part of Mourinho that would just think, you know what, Pogba, Rashford, get your shorts off, Rooney, get off, and go a little bit more attacking? And, I mean, if we win it, if Liverpool keep dropping more points, it may be that we don't even need to beat Spurs. If we win this today and Liverpool don't win at West Ham, we wouldn't even need to beat Spurs next week to still be in with a shout.
Yeah, it's a great point. I agree with what you said. I'd go with that, mate. But we've got Jose Mourinho as our manager,
No, I
and
forgot to add that little bit in. This is Jose Mourinho. He'll probably just be happy not to get beat. Sir Alex Ferguson would go for it, I think.
Yeah, he'd be happy not to get beat, and I think there's a lot. Look, a draw is always a bad result because we're Manchester United. We're not a team that aspires to draw, but there is positives in a draw today. The unbeaten run continues. You know, we still have this Mourinho unbeaten run against Wenger, and we are still in with a chance because I think Liverpool, looking at their form, will drop more points. They were appalling today. But and this is United's second string team, and we can kick it up a gear. I'd like to see Rooney come off in the second half after 60, 70 minutes, not because of the way he's playing. I just would like to see Rashford and Martial both on the break because I think the space in behind there's a lot of it, and Martial is trying to exploit as much as he can of it on his own. But I think if he has, we saw a little bit of it when Mata ran in behind, and that was, if he'd have got that ball off to Mkhitaryan, that was a certain goal for me. So there's space there. We just need more runners, and at the minute it's only Martial making the runs, unfortunately.
Just to talk about top four, just in case people aren't aware of it. Liverpool are in third, having played 2 games more than us, and they have 70 points. We are currently in fifth on 65 points, having played 34 games. Obviously, in 45 minutes, we'll have played 35 games. So if we draw, we would be still 4 points behind them. So that even if they drew or lost to City, to West Ham, we'd effectively have to beat Spurs. So I agree with what a lot of people are saying. Look, if we're going to finish top 4 today, we've got to win. And if we won today, we would be 2 points behind them. And then, you know, if they did drop points at West Ham and we won our game in hand, we'd go ahead of them anyway. And the Spurs game would sort of be academic. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. I think, you know, if we win today, we might not have to beat Spurs because will Liverpool win at West Ham? If we draw today, I think it's we'd have to win at Spurs and hope that they drop points at West Ham.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'd love to see us go all out in that second half. 45 minutes, you know, to define our whole season, really. And, you know, you might say it's a second string team, but there's more than enough quality on that pitch to do the job. And all they've got to do is up it one more gear. They've probably got 2 or 3 gears to go up, but we need one more gear, and we can nick a result for this team. But do you know what? I've also been really, when you get a player like Twanzebe on the pitch today, you end up player camming him quite a lot. I mean, it's all I've been looking at is how he's been playing, his movement and his positioning. I think he's been fantastic for a first half debut. You know, for starting in a Premier League game, but he had a really good half and showed great strength, and might have one for the future here.
Yeah, I'll come back to him in a moment. There's been a super chat comment here from Dees TV. He says, "What is this mentality? We don't have to win. Ridiculous. We are Manchester United and we are supposed to be focused for 3 points every goddamn game. Disgrace." Look, you know what? It's all about opinion. It's a fair opinion. What I would say is, with 45 minutes left in this game, our season is pretty much defined by our Premier League season. This game is there to be won. I think if I was manager, if Ross was manager, if a lot of you were manager, if it's still 0-0 with 10-15 minutes to go, sod the unbeaten game run. The unbeaten run's not going to get us top 4. Winning this game in the last 10 minutes will get us top 4. It gives us a great opportunity. I would think 10 minutes to go. Look, we're as good. We may as well lose as draw. Let's bloody go for it. Let's go for it. Roll the dice. If we get the win, great. If we lose, we've not lost anything really, because I don't care whether we finish 5th or 6th. It doesn't bother me. But we are managed by Jose Mourinho, and I think not losing to Wenger, keeping that unbeaten run, may be more important to him. It'll be interesting to see what happens with it. But back to Twansibi, what Ross was talking about there. You know what? He's not going to come in and play like Maldini reincarnated. He's good. He's not put a foot wrong. He's been very good. And when you're a young kid like that, actually, and I think Ross said it as well, the best thing you can do, especially we are away to Arsenal here. He's up against Alexis Sanchez, one of the best players in the Premier League. If he can come through this game without making a big mistake, the next game he'll be 5 times better. And if he does it again, he'll get better and better, because it's all about confidence. He's clearly got the ability. He's well known in the youth setup as being a player that they feel can step up. But your career is always defined by injury when you're a young player, and also how those first few opportunities go. Remember Paddy McNair? He was going to be a really good player. Van Gaal destroyed him, taking him off after half an hour in games like that. Never got a sniffing again. Confidence gone. With Twansibi, if he can get through this game without making a big mistake and he can get more and more opportunities, that's what we want. I don't expect him to be, like I say, a 10 out of 10 performance, but if he can do 7 or 8, brilliant.
Yeah, definitely, and I think he's done that in the first half. And do you know what? I'll be inclined to, looking at how Jones has played. Again, not his fault. I'm not having a go at him, but I'll be inclined to swap him around a bit and put Jones out on right back, because you get less exposed at right back. I think they're on purposely trying to expose him and try and see if he looked like you just said. He looked really solid. He hasn't put a foot wrong. So a really good half from him. So it really adds something to the game. I think it's a really good game anyway. To be honest, it's been quite end to end.
Can I just add this to you, Ross? Because I know we're closing in on the second half. MUFC TV says Rooney should be subbed for Pogba. Straight away in my head, I think if you take Rooney off and you bring Pogba on, we're suddenly a far better side. And as a far better side, you've got a far better chance of winning. I know I said before the game, do not let Pogba play 1 minute in this game, because if he does his hamstring and he's out for the season, we're screwed. But a part of me just thinking, well, actually, if we win this game, we've got unexpectedly a massive chance of getting top 4. And it'd be interesting if Mourinho feels the same.
It is a great shout, and you can't live your life expecting the worst to happen all the time. So I'd agree. I'd put Pogba on because I think he'd dominate the way Arsenal are playing and the balls that he'd be able to hit. And Rooney's got in some really good positions, and he's played well and he hasn't, if you know what I mean. His delivery of set pieces was atrocious. He did miss that opportunity, even though he kind of created it for himself. So yeah, I'd agree with that. But you just know that Jose Mourinho won't do it.
Are you on the Sunday show tonight, Ross, or are you having a night off?
If I've got an invite, mate, yeah, I'll be on it.
Cool, okay. So Ross will be back with us tonight, Sunday Night Live at 8:30. You can follow him on Twitter at Hazza90. What's your thoughts then? Are you going to go on, be brave? Are you going to think we're going to win it? Think it'll be a draw?
Yeah.
Or?
I think we're going to win 2-0, mate. Call me insane, but I think if we get one, we'll get another.
Cool. All right, I'll speak to you later, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
20 times Red says I'm a hypocrite. If you don't tell me why, I can't justify. We've gone over 1,000 likes, which is fantastic. Thanks to everyone on the watch along. I always say, the likes are down to you lot when we do the watch along. So thanks for that. Fantastic. If you are new to the United Stand, remember, click that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell, because we're a live content channel. So you'll get a notification every time we go live. In summary, it's basically 8:30 every single night. Sunday Night Live tonight, every Sunday of the year, is our sort of review debate show at 8:30. So lots to discuss. We can talk about a bit about Aguero coming to United, which I think is quite controversial. Zlatan is apparently leaving, so we'll be talking about that. Obviously, the remnants of this result, lots and lots to talk about. And of course, from now until the end of August, we started it last week, it went really well. 7 a.m. every single morning, we've got Transfer Daily, Manchester United Transfer Daily. Normally a 5 to 10 minute show summarising all the transfer news, whether it's crap or credible. So that's going really well. So you're getting 2 bits of new content every day on the United Stand, Manchester United's biggest independent fan channel. Get involved, it's your channel. Your live comments, you're always part of the show, whether you're in the live chat or whether you're not watching live and you're commenting below. Just get involved with the channel. Really, really great community of people here. Lots of things going on. Lots of things planned for the summer. Never boring. Always real fan opinion, like I say. And like I say, my opinion, if you don't like it, fine. I wouldn't say great, because it'd be nice if some people appreciated what I say, but I'm not a voice for Manchester United. I think some people moan, "Oh, you think you're the voice of Manchester United?" I've never said I am that. I am just the presenter of this channel, which has gone really, really well because of all you lot. And I do read your comments, whether it's after a video or during it. And I don't think my opinion's any better than yours. I'll disagree with it. And I'm fortunate to be in this position as the presenter where I can, people get to listen to my opinion, but you don't have to agree with it. And there are loads of opportunities to get involved. If you go to Manchester United games, we are looking for people after the game to just send us, on their phone, stand at Old Trafford, give us a 2 or 3 minute match review. We're looking for those sort of things. Tomorrow night at 8:30 is Skype Goldbridge, where I just start the show, open Skype, you call in, you set the show. So loads and loads of opportunities to get involved. Xander's back with me now.
Hello.
All right.
Not too bad, thank you.
Good. And here we go. Season defined in a half, said Ross. Premier League season for sure.
What, from that first half?
No, this next 45 minutes. I think. I'm just looking at the league there, and I know people still think we can get top 4. I think if we're going to get top 4, we've got to win this game today. We've got to win this game.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We've still got Spurs to play as well, Southampton and Palace. So this is an absolute crucial second half.
I do remember when Phil Jones took a corner, Chad. It's one of the defining Louis van Gaal memories, to be honest. It's right up there with... Well, Mourinho's already had his moments of madness like that. We always say moments of madness, David Moyes and the 100 and however many crosses against Hull. Louis van Gaal, Phil Jones on corners. And Mourinho's already done his Fellaini captain. I'm trying to think. I mean, it doesn't mean they're a bad manager. Every manager just has a bad defining moment. Sir Alex answers on a postcard for that.
For him, the defenders in midfield against Arsenal.
And we won.
Yep.
Probably Beppe was such a bad signing, wasn't he?
Mm.
He had a few bad signings, though. Jemba, Cleverson, Prunier, Taibbi.
He's running. Oh, he's offside. He's had a few of those, Martial, hasn't he? When he's made a run in behind and he's been offside.
Yep. I'm just going to go and renew my water, so I'll leave it with you for a minute.
No worries. I don't know whether that's down to the ball in or whether that's down to Martial, his timing of the runs, but we've been comfortable so far. I do think he'll take Herrera off at some point, maybe bring Pogba on because he'll want to save Herrera for the Europa League and save some energy for him. But, there is always that risk of Pogba getting injured. I'll tell you what, Mark, are you there? No. I'll tell you what, though, I reckon, Darmian's most likely to play against Celta Vigo the full 90 minutes as we've got no options at the left-back position. So, for him not to pick up an injury would be absolutely fantastic. He's going to be so crucial to us over the next few weeks.
Yeah, he has. I was going to reply that way and say he's become absolutely essential. We've got no Luke Shaw, no Ashley Young. Daley Blind's been playing as a centre-back. I mean, I suppose the comeback of Jones and Smalling does at least mean that if the worst came to the worst, you could move Blind across there. But I think him and Bay have been playing so well and so solidly, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I echo your thoughts.
I'm quite nervous about this game now because I just think if we get, I would have been more than happy before this morning if somebody said 0-0. I'd have gone yes. That means we've put in a good performance. Our reserves, it keeps the unbeaten run going. We've not lost to Arsenal. Brilliant. I'd be very happy with that. But I think with that Liverpool draw, it just means that now, if we can just find a win, I would suddenly think. And I've got to be totally honest, I will not be a hypocrite on this. I said top 4 was gone a long time ago. But I'll be more than happy to be wrong. I never say I'm always right anyway. So I'd love it if we can do it. But I still think it would be very difficult because Arsenal will be thinking exactly the same. And
then, right, even if we do batter them today, which I don't think we will, I think if we do win, it will be tight. But we've still got then Spurs play. They're no rollover. No. Whether they'll be easier to beat because of the fact that they can't win the league anymore, then maybe. But they're a very good side, and I echo your thoughts in terms of they're the best footballing side that we've played this year, even though we beat them.
Last game at White Hart Lane for them as well. So I think these people who are saying, "Oh yeah, they'll bottle it because they can't win the league anymore." Well, yeah, I'm sure their levels will have dropped a bit, but it's still their last game at White Hart Lane. They'll be up for it.
Yeah, you saw West Ham turn up at the last game at the Boleyn Ground when they beat us 3-2. We could have got top 4 that game, so we must have been up for it. It's just things like that mean a lot to the players and the fans. So yeah, then Southampton, then Palace. It's not going to be an easy run.
If we win today, we would be on 68 points with a game in hand on Liverpool, and they'd be 2 points ahead of us. So if we won all our games, there's nothing they could do to stop us. However, if we were 2 points beyond, if we win today and we're 2 points behind Liverpool, they've got to play West Ham next week. If they draw that with 3 points behind, with 3 points ahead behind them, even if we lost to Spurs, if we beat Southampton and Palace, we'd be level on points. It would all come down to goal difference. So that's why today is so important, because I think going to Spurs and winning will be very difficult. But if we win today, and as long as Liverpool don't win at West Ham, which I don't think they necessarily will, it's game on. But we've got to...
What is our goal difference like?
Our goal difference at the moment is 26 and Liverpool's is 29. But remember, we've got a game in hand, so
yeah, it
could be done. But then again, Liverpool's last game of the season's at home to Middlesbrough, so they could tonk them 6 or 7-0. So
they beat City.
Yeah.
Drew.
It's very hard, but I think if we want to do it, we've got to somehow win this one today. And as I said, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I've felt it's gone, and I think it's gone because we drew too many games at home. Haha, Sanchez and Twansebe, fucking idiots.
Get up. Brilliant. He's played very well so far, Twansebe. Brilliant. No, it's gonna do so much for his confidence and for Mourinho as well. He's beat him twice now. Twansebe has beat Sanchez twice now. No real chances the second half so far, though.
It's a very edgy game.
Yeah.
Apparently, no player in the first half, if you like stats, which I don't. No other player in the first half made more interceptions than Axel Twansebe. I mean, as I said at half time, look, I'm not looking for him to have a man of the match performance. What I want him to do is just have a good game, which he's had, not make any mistakes, and the confidence he'll take from that as a young player is, infinite. So far, it's been absolutely fantastic, really, really good.
I think he's been one of our best players so far.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Saying that though, no one's really stood out yet.
I just love us to get the goal, but to be honest with you, I don't want us to get the goal too early, because I think if we got a goal in the next 5 minutes, it'd just be half an hour of us, because that's how Mourinho does it. He would sit back and try and defend. I'd like it to just stay 0-0 for till about 70 minutes, and then get a goal in the last 10. That'd be great. Because I know if we do score first, we won't carry on playing like this. We will sit back and try and defend it. Which
I don't think that would be the worst thing though. Because hitting them on the counter, might be someone's down there. He looks injured. I don't know who that is, Mark. I don't know.
Herrera.
Is that Herrera?
Yeah.
Tell you what, that'd be a big loss as well. What's he holding? Is his thigh? His knee?
Darmian, isn't it? It's not Herrera.
Is it? No, I think it is Herrera.
Yeah, it probably was actually. Tell you what, they do keep doing though, Arsenal. They keep getting in behind our like Mata and Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, you wouldn't associate Mata and Mkhitaryan with tracking back, would you?
Twansebe on the map says this formation is terrible, says Marco. They've scored.
Oh God!
Xhaka.
Oh God.
Deflected. Wow.
I'm going to get so much stick.
That's bad luck. It's a deflected goal. There's
Yeah,
nothing you can do about it.
The amount of stick I give people about Xhaka. Oh.
Well, I think it deflects off Herrera, who's carrying an injury, but
We go again.
I think
That's just
I
unlucky.
think that will be top 4 gone, because I don't think we can get back in this now, unfortunately. But it's just, that's football for you, isn't it? It's deflected. It reminds me of the 1990 England semi-final when it deflected up over Shilton. There's absolutely nothing you can do as a goalkeeper. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't go anywhere near the goal. It's just total and utter fluke. But I just tweeted there, Arsenal fans will be saying Xhaka's better than Pogba because he's just scored a 30-yard lucky deflection. I mean, it's not deserved, but it's been quite an equal game. So I did say the first goal was going to be key. I understand the disappointment. I feel disappointed, but it's a lucky goal. This happens in football, and the first goal was going to be key. Our formation and tactics don't work now because we've been sort of like trying to hit them on the break and play tight and compact. I don't think they were ever going to pass their way through, but a 30-yard shot like that deflects in, you can't do anything about it. It is what it is.
Do you make changes now?
I don't know. I don't think we really can make changes, because the changes we'd make would be bringing players on that really need to rest. It is what it is. This game was always going to be like this.
It's just more the result of Liverpool, and we think, oh cool, you know what, top 4 might be open for us now, and then to be disappointed with such an unlucky goal.
Well, to be honest, if Arsenal win, if they win their games in hand, they're above us anyway. So suddenly they could go above Liverpool. They've got as much chance as anybody else.
Yeah, but I just don't want to. Don't know. I just hate the Arsenal fans on Twitter and everything. They're so loud and just.
Crane Matic says this is because we played like cowards. I've got absolutely nothing to say negative about the formation or the selection. It's just the whole game has just changed on a lucky goal, and now Arsenal have got their tails up, the crowd are up. You can't account for it. You cannot account for it. It's just one of those things.
Dangerous.
Scored again.
Fast.
Smalling. See, now that is down to us.
And who scored it, Mark?
Welbeck.
There you go. Oh, Jesus. Just makes me sick, the sight of it. Just looking at them. Just.
It's just the heads have dropped after that first goal.
What? I tell you what, though, Mark. That's Smalling there. That's Smalling. You're right. There you go. Mark, when are you going to change your mind?
What about
Smalling?
I think he'll go in this summer anyway. I've always liked Smalling because he's good in the air. That's rest.
There you go.
That's rest in peace. Yeah.
yeah. He's just it's not Twanzebe's fault, because Twanzebe's got a man behind him. Oh.
It's on. You change your opinion in the space of seconds, because actually I thought the first goal you can't moan about to anybody. It's just a lucky goal. But to drop your heads have gone now. This is what I said. They get the lucky goal. The crowd get up for it. The team get up for it. And you've got to stay strong mentally as a team for 5 or 10 minutes. Keep it at 1-0. Keep it strong. The game's gone now. We're not going to. This team is not capable of scoring 3 goals. It never was. And Mourinho at 2-0, he won't make the changes now. So his little proud record of never been losing to Wenger, it's gone. The first goal, I've got no issue with it. It is just luck. It is just luck. The second goal, I have got an issue with it, because that's just heads dropping, and experienced professionals don't do that. And Smalling getting stuck under a cross like that, dear me, absolutely dreadful. Ricky Clarkson says get the big guns on. I disagree. What does that do? What are we chasing? Chasing a draw if we're lucky? We're not going to get back into this game now. It's gone. I think you've just got to suck it up and take your medicine.
He's bringing Lingard on. I mean, who for? Rooney?
I would hope it's Rooney. It'd probably be Mkhitaryan or Mata.
Mate, yeah. No, I think it'll be Mkhitaryan, so he can save him for the Europa League. I think it's just damage limitation now. I'll tell you what, I am actually, I'm quite gutted because I know we would have still had to beat Spurs and the rest, but it was a good opportunity and just to shut the Arsenal off about sixth and everything.
They won't be above us anyway, even if they win.
I know.
It's annoying to let Welbeck score though.
Yeah. Mark, Rashford's coming on, Lingard's coming on. He looks like he wants it.
It'd be interesting to see who's going to take off though, because if he's taking off Martial, it's a little bit unfortunate.
Martial's just been really. I think this, he had a good first half an hour, 40 minutes, but since then he's been poor. His hold-up play hasn't been good. His, with the ball at his feet, he hasn't been good. Lingard's coming on for Mkhitaryan. Yeah.
Some people feel that Mkhitaryan should go in the summer. I think he's had a very mixed season. Obviously, he didn't play for a long time. He's had some good games, and the thing is, though, that tactically might be because he needs to play one of these players on on Thursday.
I don't know because he's bringing Rashford on, isn't he? So that suggests that Rashford, he'd want to keep him for Thursday. So bringing Rashford on suggests he really wants to go for it now. But
Mourinho won't want to lose.
Yeah.
Both goals very poor though. Nothing could happen with the first goal. It's just luck.
No.
The second goal, you should never be able to give. You should never be given a striker. Just Welbeck can't miss. He can't miss.
That's awful. It was awful defending, really, wasn't it? And we pride, you pride Smalling being great in the air. That was. I don't know. My head's gone now. I'm deflated.
It's always embarrassing as a centre. Phil Jones is the master of it, really, getting stuck under a cross. You should never get stuck under a cross, and you make yourself look an absolute clown if you do. But it's just total misjudgment, and top-class centre-backs should not allow it to happen.
Yeah. But the thing is, what I will say, though, Mark, we were saying, Smalling in the last 2 years, he's been good because he's been protected by the central midfielders. That, if you've got two central midfielders in front of you, that makes no difference. That's just down to your defensive awareness. And in the last 2 years, I think he would be winning that and clearing that. And I don't really know what's happened to him.
Irish Raver saying Smalling was never great in the air. I dispute that. He's scored plenty of set pieces and he is good in the air. But, I can't defend him on that. Just like he can't defend that cross. It's shocking.
Yeah.
Herrera's coming off.
That's
That's tactical.
Yeah.
That's all about Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both were, to be honest. He probably had it in both in his mind for both.
It's difficult when I'm sure when you're disappointed about a result, and then to talk about it, in depth, it's just difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
You just want to hide. So, what would your mindset be now in the game? Like, would you just try and see it out, or do you try and go for a goal, or what do you do?
I'm just reading interesting on Twitter, actually. I'm just reading about the second goal, because apparently a lot of people are saying it was Martial's fault for not doing enough, then Mkhitaryan, then Smalling doing what he does best, defending badly. But This game is gone. You know, you can never say never in football, but you know, 2-0 down at home, 2-0 down away to Arsenal, with 25 minutes to go. We weren't set up to come back from 2-0 in this game at all, and we haven't really got the options to do it. Even if we had our best team out, it's very, very difficult. So if we can do it, it would be an effort of Herculean effort. But I am disappointed like everybody else. I think before it, I was like, whatever the result, it doesn't really matter because it's all about Thursday. But I think when Liverpool's result comes in, you just think you've got to capitalise on that. But it's very evident of what our season's been, isn't it? In the Premier League, it's just not being good enough. And you go back. I mean, Rooney's just hit a free kick. He's never going to bet check from there, even though he palms it out. You go back in this game, and I'm sorry, I just cannot move past the point in the first half when Rooney's 1-on-1. If he puts that in, it's different. It's different, and that would be my disappointment. But it is what it is. The first goal changes the game, and then the second goal, everybody's just switched off, and that's not excusable. But the first goal really, really changed it, and it's just a lucky goal. Those things will happen.
Go on. Bang it. Bang. Oh, he slipped. Lingard slipped. Well, I mean, now it really, really, really is all in the Europa League, isn't it?
Yeah, and a lot of people I've seen a lot of comments today saying very scared about playing Ajax, who are a footballing side, as are Arsenal. But
I don't think the footballing side of Arsenal has scared us today. I think it's, like you say, a lucky goal and an aerial ball that's put us 2-0 down today. So
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree to an extent. You know, Ajax are a good side. You know, they're no pushovers. They're in the Europa League final for a reason, right? And you know, should not be taken lightly.
Super chat comment here from Orison. He says, "Look at all the Jose out CUNTs coming out of their closet." I haven't read any of that, Orison. I mean, yeah. The one thing I did say, and I will stand by it, is that if we lose this game, there shouldn't be people going on about negative things or anything like that. I think it's more than right to say Smalling's at fault and have an issue with the heads that drop after the first goal, because that's just, you know, one of those things. But, you know, there are circumstances. I'm disappointed because that Liverpool result gave us a sniff of top four. But yet again, it's just a story of our season, isn't it? That we've just handed top four on a plate to whoever gets it. Whoever gets it, we've given it them. And that's down to ourselves.
Yeah, you think back to chances, you know, when we played Bournemouth and Zlatan missed that penalty. If we won that, we'd be in the top four.
It's not just down to today. It's not just down to today. I mean, expecting to win at Arsenal any season is never going to be easy. The reason we won't get top four is because of the draws against Hull and Swansea and Stoke and Burnley. I can't even remember the list. There's so many. There is so
double
many.
Everton.
Yeah, there's so many we've dropped. Arsenal at home was one, actually. But Tyler says Wayne Rooney needs to leave now before he completely tarnishes his reputation. He's turning into an embarrassment.
Swansea. Oh, shite.
It's done all right there. It's got it back. But Arsenal look more likely to get the third because we are trying to get back into a game, which we were never really set up to do that.
Don't score that. Good. That would really be a good goal.
You can't score goals that aren't deflected. Master Builder's official. He's not left a comment, which is unfortunate, but thanks for that. And stop the Josie out, bro, says Joe Tarakina. I've not actually seen any Josie out. I think people are probably just doing it for a bit of a joke now. Well, look, we're not playing our first choice centre backs. Our centre backs were at fault for the goal. The second goal, and the first goal was just luck.
But the thing is, yeah, like, this could easily happen in the final against Ajax. You know, they could get a lucky deflection, get the first goal, our heads drop, they quickly get the second goal, and then we're pretty much out of it. That can easily happen. That's why it's so scary.
Yeah, well, I've been saying that all season. I've been saying all season I'd rather get top four because you just don't know what can happen in a one-off game. But that's the risk we've left ourselves with.
Yeah.
Bring on Pogba, says Fallon. Well, you know what? I sort of disagree. Bring Pogba on now. He's stretching around, trying to get back in the game. He does his hamstring. He's out for the season. And when we go, why did we bring Pogba on when the game was lost? You know what I mean? There's always two sides. I wouldn't bring Pogba on.
Nah, I wouldn't either. Like I said, damage limitation now. Keep everyone fit for Thursday. Keep this to 2-0. And, we're not getting back now.
Amaconda makes a good point. Mkhitaryan didn't even press on the corner. And I think, I'll tell you what I've noticed a lot that teams get away with Manchester United is that they go in through the back of us and refs just don't seem to want to do anything about it. I've noticed that a lot over the last few weeks. Teams going through the back of us and referees not doing anything about it. Master Builders officials made another contribution. Leave a comment, mate, please. That'd be nice, but thanks very much. Arsenal on the attack here with Sanchez. Twan well done.
He's done well there.
Oh, Lingard.
That's what I'm saying. Like he makes good runs. He's energetic, but he just doesn't have the quality. And when he gets into the final third, he takes a shot. I'm not confident that it's going in the top corner.
I think Rooney's been very, very, very similar, and it'd be unfair to just keep picking on one player all the time. Like people say, I always pick on Fellaini, which is not true. I just think he's a very poor player. And I think against Celta Vigo, Fellaini was awful. I think Rooney's had a very similar performance in the midfield. He's just been bypassed very, very easily. Not had a very good game at all.
No, I'd agree with that.
He's just not got the legs.
But,
and even his slide tackles are missing.
Oh, God.
He needs putting out of his misery.
Yeah. But, Mourinho, who do you put on? You could put Pogba on, but I think you will want to save him. That could have been a penalty there. He got no options. Rashford. Oh. I think Martial hasn't had the greatest of games. I think he started off reasonably well, but he's died out.
I mean, he's even missing his attempted slide tackle fouls. I had a message from Robbie Boosted on Twitter saying that he thinks that Europa League has ruined United this season. I don't know. I just think that it's cool, mate, says Master Builders. Thanks for that. Rest in unbeaten run. Rest in peace, unbeaten run.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. I don't know. I can't remember his Twitter handle who commented on it. But that Robbie that commented about the Europa League ruining us, to an extent I'd agree with it, because if we didn't have Europa League, we'd have Pogba on now. Zlatan wouldn't have got injured. Rojo would be on. They all got injured in the Anderlecht game. So we'd be full strength at the moment, and we'd be confident we'd getting back. It'd still be difficult, but I don't think we'd find ourselves 2-0 down. So to an extent, I agree with him.
I just go back to what I said last summer. I expected us to get rid of more deadwood. I don't think the team is good enough, and I think he's got a big job on, and I think people forget where we've been for the 3 years before Mourinho. It's not like we were champions or anywhere near it. We won an FA Cup, but he's made 4 signings, and all of those 4 signings, they've all been pretty good. But there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done at United, and I just, yeah.
To be fair to Jose, though, we were calling out for more players to be to leave the club, more deadwood to be gotten rid of. If he got rid of more players, we'd really be in trouble. If Jones was one of them, we wanted to go. Rojo, we said we wanted to go. If they weren't here, at the club at the moment, we'd really be in serious trouble.
Yeah. But there are mistakes. I mean, Mourinho's not had it all his own way. There are mistakes. The mistakes like giving Jesse Lingard a new contract on $100,000 a week. I mean, I just don't think he should even be playing in the Premier League.
His obsession with Fellaini is a massive mistake.
Obsession with Fellaini, obviously.
Go on.
Well, you know, we've dropped a lot of points this season. And if you want to identify points that we should have had that we didn't, Everton away, we're minutes away from winning it. We're comfortable. Fellaini gives a penalty away. That's 2 points. That if we had those 2 points now, it'd be very, very important. Evil Ducks made a contribution. Thanks. He says, thank you to Master Builder. Love you lots. Yeah, thanks for that.
Evil Duck as well. I love your... I've seen his videos. I don't know if you've seen them, Mark.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Shout out to you. And Xhaka's down. Cool.
Rumour Dude says that without De Gea, we probably would have been humiliated. We've got a new Ali Ali in the house, says Chad Sproul. Could be Ali Ali with a different name. Matthew Shaw, Man United will never win anything with Carrick playing. We've won Champions Leagues with Carrick playing, so wash your mouth out, mate. And titles. We've not. I don't know why people are getting their arse in their hands. We've not ignored any of the contributions made by Master Builder's official. He just hasn't left us anything to say, so we've just thanked him for the contribution, which is great. So Tom Wayne, he just ignores it. No, we haven't ignored it at all. You can just be blocked, because I think people are just ignorant themselves when they don't actually listen to what's being said. What do you want us to do? Start dancing around the bloody the studio? We're watching a game of football. The people have been thanked for it. That's the end of it. And to be honest, the way the super chats work, that may not even be real. So that's part of the reason we don't go on and on and on about it. So, and like I say, to be honest, I'm at the moment more disappointed by the fact that yet again, and there are mitigating circumstances, yet again, I'm very, very disappointed that Liverpool's result happens like that, and we basically blow an opportunity. I am disappointed, absolutely disappointed.
It's a long 15 minutes now. Just seeing that DT.
To be honest, they're all jumping on the super chats as well. Beck, get to work with Marcus. There's a lot of Arsenal fans jumping on here now, but Jaden's blocked as well. I'll tell you what. I don't really give a damn. If you want to say we've ignored that contribution again, you'll be blocked. You won't be on the United stand anymore. You'll have to set up another YouTube account, because some bitter rivals who come on here trying to cause trouble seem to think that YouTube is a place that you can just come on and say what you like. This is the United Stand fan channel, and there is a button that we have, and it's called block, and you can say whatever you like, and then you're gone. So just keep doing it. You think, sit behind your keyboard thinking you're bloody it. You've got school tomorrow, get to bed.
I've got school tomorrow, Mark. Don't be mean.
Yeah, but you're a United fan. Fucking Rooney's atrocious.
He's bad, isn't he? He's been awful.
But no, I mean, I don't know what people think. I don't know what people think, but it's... I mean, Ki Kong Lu says negative football needs to be punished. I totally disagree. I don't think there's any issue with the way United have played this game today. We've not picked our strongest team. Arsenal are playing their strongest team. They're well rested compared to us. When was Arsenal's last game? A week ago. You can't go toe to toe with Arsenal. Nobody ever does that, and that's no respect to Arsenal. It's just they've got one way of playing. They get a lucky goal, a hit and hope shot that would never beat De Gea in a million years, but deflects off Herrera and is unstoppable because of that loop. Then it becomes our problem, because we just need to concentrate for a few minutes and keep it 1-0 and stay in the game, and we give a soft goal away. I can't blame Mourinho. I can't blame the lineup. I can't blame a lot of the players. I think the only blame you can put into this is things that we already know, and even I just keep hoping that we'll see something from Rooney. I don't expect consistency, but maybe just one good result, one good performance. But he's He's so finished, it's sad.
The only good thing he's done this season is that free kick. That's it. I really do not think he's done anything. There's not one match that you've thought, cool, Rooney's played fantastic that game. Not one match. It's just, oh.
Abdul Muis Karishi, cheerio. You've made your last comment. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying doing this. Mark, this is making me feel a lot better.
Mark turned moderator.
English James 007. I'm absolutely furious. Stop the backing of this garbage 5-yard back and forth passing at the back.
He's bringing that McTominay on. McTominay, whatever it's called.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a white flag, isn't it?
That's one of those. Yeah, no, but that's one of those debuts that he'll name up, wouldn't it? When he gave that fake list. Well, not
United
fake.
in the stands chance makes a good point. Next week we could get humiliated by Spurs.
Oh. I just want to play the Europa League final and call the season a day just there. Saying that we're not even in the final yet. Go on, beat him. No one in the box. Oh. Rooney shot. Over.
Alex Cook, do you think we've bottled it again? I'll throw that to you. Zan, do you think we've bottled it?
I mean, I don't think you can. We've been bottlers all season. You can't put. We've bottled. We haven't bottled it necessarily this game because a loss against Arsenal, even though we should be winning, isn't the most unexpected thing in the world. Arsenal are a good side. It's the lower the less good teams that we've drawn against. That's where we've bottled it. It's over the season that we've bottled it. It's not necessarily just this game. But yes, is the answer to that. Over the season, I think. We never seem to do well in the recent history against Arsenal away. Last season, the one you were talking about with Schweinsteiger and Carrick.
Yes,
that was a day. That was a day after my birthday. I was really looking forward to it. I was even considering going to the game. I'm happy I didn't. It was 20 minutes. We were 3-0 down in 20 minutes.
Well, it's been very easy for Arsenal. I mean, I never expected us to come back from 2-0, to be honest. I don't think we've even created a chance in this half.
No.
A couple of long shots from Rooney, but it's too easy when you put it on a plate, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Smalling mistake just cost us, and people can say Martial and Mkhitaryan didn't track back. And, maybe they didn't, but the cross has to be dealt with, and it was there to be dealt with. And I'd be very surprised if Mourinho blamed anybody else other than Chris Smalling, to be honest.
I don't think Martial's played well. I don't think anyone's played well.
I think there's some very interesting changes coming this summer.
But the thing is, you can't get rid of 5-6 players. You can't do it because that ruins your whole kind of team, your core. You have to do it over a number of seasons and over a number of transfer windows, I believe. So I think you'll get rid of probably about 3-4 players, but that's max. Hector Bellerin, look at his hair. Welbeck coming off, clapping.
Surprised he's not kissing the badge.
Yeah. I mean, he looks happy enough. Well, you would do that, wouldn't you? Get outed, get sold by your boyhood club.
I could have scored that header. It was a piece of piss. Absolutely easy, I'm afraid. But there we go. I think it will finish Arsenal, Manchester United 2-0 now.
I don't know.
Matt has come off for
But
McTominay.
Yeah, I mean, gives us something to look at now, doesn't it?
Football, anything can happen in the Premier League, and football's all about fine lines. And ultimately, I'm very disappointed, but this is not where it's all about. It'd be very wrong to highlight this one performance and say, "Oh, we've blown top four today." We haven't blown top four at all today. We had another chance today that we've blown, but it was always a tall ask without our best side to come to Arsenal and win. I think the unfortunate thing is Arsenal got a very lucky goal, and then we switched off. And like I say, that's football. It's not. If football was scripted and justice happened in every game, then football would be very boring. You just don't know. Sometimes you can hit a shot from 35 yards, it flips off Herrera and goes in the one place one of the world's best goalkeepers can't save it. I guarantee if he tried that 30 more times, it wouldn't go in because it's just lucky graphics, lucky physics, isn't it? But I am disappointed because I just think I didn't expect Liverpool to lose today, and then when they do, it gives you a chance, doesn't it? But to be honest,
we should really be used to it, shouldn't we, by now? Over this season, but just every time you seem to get your hopes up, don't you? You think, oh god, we've got opportunity now, and then the same old happens. We draw or we lose, and like I said, it's not down to this game really. It's down to, how I think, is it in double figures? Like 13, 14, with draws we've had against the lower opposition.
Yeah, it is just ridiculous, the mistakes that we've made this season, but it is what it is.
And I'm quite sad about that unbeaten run as well. That was one of the things I was quite proud about almost.
You know what? To me, it's not a big loss. And I know that sounds like really dismissive, but I think it's one of the most embarrassing unbeaten runs ever because the unbeaten run has included so many games that we should have actually won. And actually, it was a bit pointless because it's a great unbeaten run, but we're not even in the top four in England. It's by the by for me. But I know some people will be disappointed by it. I understand that, but
it was just the fact that it showed that we were hard to beat. And that's one of the things that you can't buy that. That's training. That's organisation. And I don't know. I was looking for positives throughout our season, and if we were unbeaten to the end of the season, you go, well, we even though it had draws, we're hard to beat, and we're still hard to beat. But it's I don't know. I'm waffling. Go on. What's the young lady got? Have you seen much of this McTominay?
No. I mean, to be honest with you, he's quite surprising to be involved in the United side because he's not really somebody that you would predict to be breaking through. But whether it's based on position or whatever, it's he's got a chance.
Yeah, I think he's been named on the bench. Was it 3-4 times? People get excited about that. It doesn't really mean anything to me. We know Mourinho. He'll stick him on the bench and have no intention. He'll do everything not to use him. But I'm happy he's on. He'll do him good. Go on. Oh no. Check out.
Just people saying what you're doing. I'm setting up the
review,
the live stream, which we'll do straight after. I always go a little bit quieter in the last few minutes as I gather my thoughts, which will be kept back for the live match reaction. But I am disappointed. I am very disappointed.
It's all in the sigh, isn't it? Your thoughts are presented in the sigh. It's just disappointment. It's just that a repetition of. It's just the same thing happening throughout the season. It's just annoying. Put a ball in.
By Martial.
No.
I just think whatever happens, it's going to be a very, very interesting summer. I think we do need Champions League football to make it easier for us to bring players in. But on the other hand, if we don't get Champions League football, it'll be difficult to get the players that we want to get. I still think Griezmann can happen, but I can't give any guarantees. I mean, people have said to me over the last couple of weeks, do you think Mkhitaryan will be here next year? Which surprises me. But then, has he been as consistent as he should be for a new signing?
No.
Still, people think Martial could go. Luke Shaw could go. I don't know whether Luke Shaw will go, because are you going to find it easy to sell a player who's injured? By all accounts, he's probably out till the start of next season. So,
I think there'll be a manager out there that think that they can do something with the potential that Luke Shaw's got. I think he'll be off. I don't think Mkhitaryan will go.
Omar says, how is it Rooney and Smalling's fault? Well, Smalling was at fault for the second goal, and Rooney missed a one-on-one in the first half. I think everybody on the live match reaction now, give us your score out of 10 for Wayne Rooney, because I'd struggle to give a better than a 6, and that's generous. I think the one-on-one, I think the one-on-one chance was abysmal to miss that, when he could have just passed it sideways to Mata for a tap in. I think he's even tried to foul people and missed.
That's Fellaini does that.
I think. I don't like saying it, because him being fit today has at least helped us to rest Pogba. That's the one positive. But I'm sorry, he is absolutely finished, and has been for a long time. Ali is here. He says, very disappointing. We've just saved Wenger's job. Cheers, United stand. Ali.
That's not disappointing. That's good. I'd say if Wenger stays another season, they're definitely not winning anything. That's a foul. That's late. He's given the advantage. Go on, Rashford.
Mourinho will be humiliated, though. He doesn't like losing.
That's a good sign, though, isn't it? That we've got a manager that hates losing. Go on.
Could be... No. I think it's going to finish 2-0. There's only 2 minutes to go. Let's see if anybody... 4 out of 10 for Rooney from Samir. Media Live 4-4. I was interested to see if anyone wants to give... in better... Well, Fandaha gives Rooney a 7. I can only presume he's in the Rooney fan club and never watches Manchester United play for the last 3 years. But 5, 10... I don't make any apologies about saying that, because I get a bit fed up of the Rooney fanboys. Look, I like Rooney. He's been a United legend. He's been a United great. I don't call him a legend, but he's been very, very good. But it's been the same old shit for 3 years, and it's just... I understand why he was playing today. To be honest, there was nobody else to play today, but... He's our biggest earner, and it's embarrassing. I think he has become an embarrassment. Rohan's given him a 7. Most people are giving him a 5. Jake Wilders has given Martial a 2. Amir gives him an 8. Most people are giving a 3 or 4. I can't believe people would genuinely would give him a 7. I really do think you need to get down to Specsavers tomorrow morning. They open at 9 a.m. Twan Seaby's played well. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Sean Walker would give him 8 out of 10 for hard work. I tell you what, we'll play... I've got somebody who works in my office who's really hard. He makes the tea every hour, keeps his desk really clean. We'll get him playing for United, because his work ethic will be well worth an 8 out of 10, even if he's crap at football.
Twan Seaby. God, that'll be it now after this goal kick, won't it?
To be honest, whether you think he's had an overall good performance or not, my point with Rooney is this, because I think a lot of people have been over onto the live match reaction stream and seen that I've said that Smalling and Rooney cost us. It's not necessarily about...
Sit now. I can't hear you, Mark. Mark.
Now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about a performance. It's about the fact that he missed that chance when it was 1-on-1. I think it's unforgivable of a player of his quality. I don't think he had a very good game either. But thanks for coming on, Xander. I'm going to do my live match reaction in about 60 seconds' time. But thanks for coming on and give your Twitter account a shout out.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. My Twitter is Sander_Seegers7.
Brilliant. Cheers for coming on, pal.
Thank you, Mark. Cheers. Appreciate it.
Disappointing result. I'm going to move over and do my match reaction now. For those of people who don't know how this works, literally, I'm going to end the watch-along stream, and in 60 seconds' time, I will be live to give my match reaction. It will be quite damning, and it will be very honest, and I will be outing some performances today, giving my player ratings, etc. But I'll keep it all back for you. The way to get there, click the United Stand logo, takes you through to the homepage, and you'll see the headline video, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0, Rooney and Smalling costas. If you disagree or agree, get over there. I'll be live with you in about 60 seconds' time.